Hey, Bob, you're watching Dolly Vision.
The evidence seems to indicate that you're watching Dolly Vision.
What up, my beautiful people? Dolly back in the house again tonight. And boy, do we have some things to talk about in the Sebastian Rogers case. Now, I don't know what is going on with my camera real quick. Give me 1 second while I do a little. Oh, I'm wearing a green hat. PJ, will you bring me a hat that's not green? It looks like my head is disappearing. Okay. But anyway, we're going to be talking about Sebastian Rogers tonight. Of course, his dad went live. We've been hoping for a Christmas miracle around here that everybody could work their problems out. I don't think that's going to be the case. And I'm going to go over some of that stuff with you guys tonight. But first, of course, I'm going to need you to leave your DNA all over the like button just in case Seth Rogers gets mad at you, okay? Just in case, I'm going to need your like on the like button just in case Seth Rogers gets mad or you go disappear and Chris and Katie don't go look for you, okay? I'm going to make sure, we need your DNA on the like button, all that good stuff. And of course, if you're brand new here, sub up the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and feel free to share my ugly face everywhere. Alba is the first one on the Dolly train tonight. The Blessed Express, baby, chugging down the tracks. And you could be blessed too if you was on the Express. But Alba, make sure you get you a nice window seat. It may get a little bumpy tonight. Every time we talk about Sebastian Rogers, it's a bumpy ride. It is a bumpy ride. And of course, let me give my warnings because some of these people are lawsuit happy. And Dolly can't afford to get sued. Dolly Vision's for entertainment purposes only. We talk news, rumors, gossip, speculation, theories, mixed with a little bit of comedy, a whole lot of chaos. So don't take nothing here as fact. Just my opinion. People completely satire the callers tonight. Opinions are theirs and theirs alone, not to reflect on Dolly. Everyone is innocent, and every one of you guys out there watching, you're innocent too, till proven guilty in a court of law, and then you're guilty as shit, okay? And the biggest one of them all is do not, and I repeat, do not try to be Dolly at home. It is dangerous. And if you're coming in here and you ain't hit the like video, you better do it. I got ninja chops tonight right through the screen, jump out like a spider monkey. You don't need it. You don't need it. Just hit the like button. Okay. So Seth was live tonight, and oh my God, was it hard to listen to? It was so hard to listen to that we're going to listen to it here. Okay. That's how hard it was, right? We're going to listen to the audio of what Seth. My bad. Seth was live. Did I say Chris? Chris was live? Mm-hmm. Seth was live, and he basically blamed everything on Chris Proudfoot, right? Everything. But here's the thing I didn't understand is why is he not blaming it on Katie? Katie was the one there with his child when that child went missing. Chris Proudfoot was in a whole nother place. He wasn't even there. But he never says bad things really about Katie, but he goes in on the attack on Chris almost instantly. And listen, guys, this was a little bit cringe because he made himself seem really jealous over the breakup of Katie, right? And I'm thinking, man, y'all been broke up. Chris and Katie been together for 7 years. You're still upset about Chris stealing your girl? I mean, that's 7 years later. I mean, I can understand it. You know, the first year or something, you don't like the guy. He took my girl. 2 years, maybe 3. Shit, I'll give you 5 years of being mad. Okay, 5 years. But after 5 years, it must not have been meant to be. And, you know, and one, nobody can steal your girl. Like, nobody can come in here and just grab PJ and run out with her. She has to choose to leave my ugly ass, right? It ain't just like somebody's going to come in and go, oh, throw a bag over her head and just run out the door with her. And that now PJ is theirs. PJ has to go, okay, I'm over this relationship and this person treats me better and I like this person better than I like you. And no man can steal your woman. Your woman chooses to leave you.
She's got to be wandering first.
Yeah, she has to have that wandering eye and willing to accept, you know, and sometimes you got to ask yourself, well, what could I have done to treat my woman better? What did I do to make my woman leave me and become a better man for the next woman that you're in a relationship with? But if you're thinking a man can just steal your woman, you're absolutely wrong, okay? You absolutely wrong. That cannot happen. If your woman loves you, there is no man in this world that can become between you and a woman that loves you. All right. So when I hear him say things like this, to me, it's like, man, you're so naive to the world, you know, of thinking this, and you're bitter and you're upset and you really, truly haven't moved on. Okay. Not that he has anything to do with the disappearance of Sebastian. I'm just saying at some point you got to realize it's over between you and Katie, right? It's over between you and Katie. So instead of saying bad things about Katie, the one that was actually there physically with your child, you choose to attack the man, right? I'm pretty sure Chris didn't know you when he met Katie. So it ain't like he was your buddy and stole your girl. That's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you can't steal somebody's girl. Either she wants to be with you or she don't. You can't force somebody to love you in this world. Either they love you or they don't love you. Great shirt, Dolly. Did y'all read what it says? Warning. Mouth works faster than brain. Okay, absolutely true statement, right? Warning. Mouth works faster than brain. That's been my problem all my life. Okay.
I missed that part. The chat saying that he called her babe.
Yeah, I mean, he was really sad and really upset about it. And he says that Chris, you know, came in between him and Katie's relationship. I mean, this is a little bit long to be airing that type of stuff out. And I mean, we're going to go over it. We're going to listen to it for sure. But I just, you know, I wanted to touch on what it was. You know, I still feel bad for Seth Rogers in the whole, you know, disappearance of Sebastian Rogers case.
Can you address this real fast? Someone says you don't like Seth, so he can't do anything right in your eyes, in my opinion.
I don't have any ill will towards Seth whatsoever.
That's right. That's not true.
I don't have any ill will for the person that said that smart ass comment either. I don't have ill will towards anybody. I love everybody. Y'all all my brothers and sisters. If you agree with me or you disagree with me, Just because you disagree with what I say don't mean I speak facts. Okay. I don't pick a side in this. You know whose side I'm on? I'm on Nina's side because she just gave me $5. Okay. Nina, I'm on your side. Whatever Nina says goes from this point. All right. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. But thank you, Nina. Thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express. I stay in the middle. I'm on Sebastian's side. I've said multiple times that I believe both sides in this have done bad stuff, and I want them to come together, work out their problems, and get out there and search for Sebastian Rogers. That I would even help them. I would even go down there, jump on a plane, fly down there, even help them do it. My Christmas wish this year was for these people to put their differences aside, come together, and let's bring justice to Sebastian Rogers. And, you know, they're trying to get punishment for a crime that we don't even know has been committed. Okay. Everybody would rather prosecute the Proudfoots first without finding what happened to Sebastian. I believe if we find Sebastian, we'll find out what happened to Sebastian. There may be clues in his whereabouts once we find his whereabouts. But we got to remember that these parents have took lie detector tests. They cooperate with the police. The police don't have any evidence. And I know on the internet you're guilty until proven innocent, but technically you're innocent to proven guilty. And I know that these people have been judged in the court of public opinion. Even me. Listen, if I was on a jury with you, hell yeah, I would convict the Proudfoots. But we're not the jury. We got to go by what we have right now. And that's not very much. So we've been 2 years blaming the Proudfoots. That hasn't brought Sebastian Rogers home. It absolutely hasn't. So I believe if you do the same thing over and over and over again, and you expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity. Okay. And listen, I'm crazy as shit, but I'm not insane. There's a difference. And you people want me to be insane. I can't continue to blame people. We got to find answers. We got to find this child. We take more time blaming people than we do searching for the people. I want these people out here doing the right things, searching for their child, right? And we haven't been seeing that, not publicly. Let me state that because, you know, really, honestly, we don't know what Chris and Katie or Seth is doing behind closed doors. One thing I did hear good tonight that came out of Seth Rogers' stream. Thanks, Dolly and PJ, for helping families for Thanksgiving. Carmela, no problem. And thank you guys that have joined us the last 3 nights. We have bought 11 families Thanksgiving dinner this year with the help of our sponsors out here that have been sponsoring families. And we're going to buy 3 more tomorrow. So that's 11, 12, 13, 14 families. We have been able to buy turkey, stuffing, pies, you name it. It'll be 14 families tomorrow, 11 families so far tonight. Thanks to the help of each and every one of you beautiful people out here. And listen, I know there's some bad people on the internet, but listen, if you come together, we can do so much good here, right? Because I'd much rather you do something good for a family than definitely hurt a family, right? Like everybody thinks, Nina says, on the Turtle Express, choo choo, right? You up there with us. I'd much rather help a family than hurt a family. I pray to God that these people didn't do anything to Sebastian. Now, am I suspicious of them just like each and every one of you? Oh, hell yeah, I am. But what good is my suspicion doing without any proof, right? And that's what we got to remember is we don't have proof. Seth Rogers don't have proof. And I believe, if anything, he's blaming the wrong person. He should be blaming Katie, if anybody. Right now, maybe Chris helped her cover it up. If my suspicions were right? That 3-hour phone call, he was like, you got to do this, you got to do this. They're going to think, you know, they're not going to believe you. You're going to go to jail. And they talk for 3 hours, and Chris knows, but the person responsible, if anybody, okay, it would be Katie, okay? DI, happy holidays, friends. Is that DI or DL? I can't see it. DI, thank you so much. You're sitting first class on the Dolly Express tonight. You're sitting first class. So I don't really get the attack on Chris, but I think it's like because he can't talk to Katie without Chris, and that's kind of messing him up. Because anybody out here tells me that Seth still don't have feelings for Katie, you are cray cray. Okay, I mean, you crazier than Dolly if you think this man still ain't got feelings for Katie. He is not over the breakup yet. That is what I took from the stream tonight. And I was hoping he would be able to put all that aside and come, over the friendship bridge that Dolly's been trying to build to bring people together. So, because fighting hasn't worked. So why keep continuing to bash and fight with people instead of trying to bring these people together and try something different that may actually have a good outcome? My Christmas wish was they put all the fighting and arguing beside, come back together as a family, get out there, search for Sebastian, prove the internet wrong, that you really do care. I don't think I'm getting that Christmas. After I heard what I heard tonight, I was thinking, well, so much for Dolly's Christmas wish, right? It was wishful thinking, right? That people a little bit of time, usually time heals a lot of wounds, right? You give it a little bit of time, people, I ain't saying forget what people have said, but forgive. I heard Seth get up there and talk about how religious of Christian man he was and how he believed in Jesus. Well, Jesus believed in forgiveness, Seth, right? Here's the bad thing about people and Christians in general is you pick and choose what part of the Bible you want to listen to. If you're a Christian, you listen to the whole Bible, not whatever piece of the Bible suits your situation at the time. You listen to the whole Bible. As a person, you have to forgive. You cannot harbor that anger in your heart. It's not good for you. It's not healthy for you, right? That's why I'll tell y'all quick. Yeah, I talk crap about people, but I don't hate you, right? I don't hate anybody. I love everybody. And that's why in my show every night with If Nobody Else Loves You, who does? Dolly. Dolly loves you all. Because I got no hate for my fellow human beings, for my brothers and sisters. Some of y'all are like distant, crazy ass cousins, though, that I don't mess with, but I still love you the same. We all family. We're all on this planet together. This is a prison planet. I don't know how many of y'all listen to Clutch, the band Clutch, but we're trapped on a prison planet. We couldn't leave if we wanted to. We're stuck here together. So we need to treat each other in a certain way because we're all prisoners on the prison planet. Okay. And like you can jump on a rocket and go anywhere. You stuck here with me. So we got to have that respect for each other in this world, right? Treat each other as you would want to be treated. Now, like I said, it was a little cringe to see him so brokenhearted still about the Katie thing. I feel sorry for what do you tell a dude that's brokenhearted? You buy him a beer and you give him a little bro hug and you be like, man, it'll be all right. There's plenty of fish in the sea, because that's really all you can tell a brokenhearted person. You can't fix something that's not meant to be fixed. Everything, I believe, we have a path and everything happens for a reason. Much as you love Katie, it wasn't meant to be. Something else, God has something else in store for you, right? And I'm sure it's not harboring hate. And right now, you're on that hate side of things, I feel like, and you need to come over to the love side, okay? Like, dude, love. We need more love in this world, more people spreading love, more people spreading joy and happiness. And that energy, that vibe, that good feeling, it goes out like a wave. And if you spread good stuff happens. I'm a strong believer in that. But we're going to listen to Mr. Seth Rogers and what he had to say today. Okay. Now, trigger warning. Some of it is sad. And like, people think I hate Seth Rogers. I don't. There's times that I don't like what he's doing. Absolutely. But then there's times that it hurts my heart a little bit to see a fellow person, anybody, go through these things. And I can't really even imagine what he's going through because, just like Seth, I only have one child. Well, two now with PJ's kid, right? She's also my crazy other daughter. But I couldn't imagine before this if something would have happened to my child or even PJ's child. You know what I'm saying? I can't put myself in his place, and I really don't know what he's feeling. And it's hard to know because we ain't missing a kid.
Your mom said, Dolly, his kid is missing.
We know this. I just said that his kid is missing, right? Which is horrible. It's horrible. And I'm just sitting there letting you know I probably could never imagine the pain that he's feeling. So when I see Seth cry, I don't like to see anybody cry. Like, we bought somebody Thanksgiving dinner and they called up to Turtle Island and the woman was about to cry. And I begged her, I said, please don't cry because you're going to have me crying in front of them, the whole world up here. Because when people start to cry around me, I'm kind of like got that empath vibe to me. I get sad, right? And I know it's tears of happiness, but it's still, you'll make me cry. And what do I look like, a grown ass man up here with a snotty nose and crying on the internet? So I beg people, even if we do something super nice for you, please don't cry. Okay. Please don't cry because it'll make me cry. And I try to avoid that at all costs. Even when I interviewed Brandy Neal and I flew to Fruitland, Idaho, I sat there with Brandy, and you cannot get around Brandy and not cry. I don't give a damn. If you can, you have no emotions and you're probably a serial killer. Okay. So I tried to interview Brandy. I couldn't do it for like 2 minutes. And I was about to cry right on camera. And I was like, all right, let me wrap this up. Right. And then I had to walk off and regain it. Now, listen, there's nothing wrong with a man crying. It's against the law for us to do it in public. Okay. We just can't do it in front of you. Now, I can go in the other room and cry. It's perfectly fine. But am I going to sit up here and cry in front of you? I'm going to try my best not to. But sometimes, I have shed a tear up here. There's certain cases that really touch my heart. And when you get into like the Michael Monkey Vaughn, the Harmony Montgomery stuff, just some of the really tragic things, I'm human. So it's natural. And I see people say real men cry. I get it, but we try not to do it in front of the whole world. Okay. So let's kick into this. Listen to a little bit of what Seth has. I just want to give you the trigger warning that some of it is really sad. Some of it is really heartbreaking. And I don't hate this man. I don't hate anybody. Sometimes I disagree with the way things are going. Right. I disagree with the holding the hate and the anger. And I think I was blocked, but I asked him, I said, look, if Chris and Katie were willing to put everything to the side about everything that's been said, would you be willing to work with them? I don't think my question ever got through. So I would ask that question again today. Like, how can you put this stuff aside for the sake of your child? I think that's what Jesus would want. I think that's what God would want. I think that's what people with a heart would want, is for everybody to put all the bullshit aside, the name calling, the mudslinging, the accusing aside, and let's try something different. Now, listen, if that don't work, then go back to calling names and accusing people. But let's try something different in 2026 to bring justice to Sebastian Rogers. That's and this, like I said, guys, I'm an idiot. I'm just a dude on YouTube, but an idiot knows that this ain't working. Okay. And if you got to hear it from an idiot, I'll be the idiot to tell you the shit's not working. And I know people think they did it and they don't want to see people come together. Well, listen, guys, if they did it, they're going to pay for what they did. I promise you that. I promise, no matter what happens, if they are responsible for what is going on with Sebastian, they are going to pay. If they don't pay in this life, they will pay in the afterlife. I promise you that. I believe that with all my heart. Okay. So I say, for people that are like mudslinging in Seth's room against Chris and Katie, bring that down a notch, right? They done burnt every bridge that could possibly be burnt, has burnt to the ground. Between TikTok Tony and everybody, just burnt everything down. There ain't a bridge standing. Okay, there ain't a bridge standing. So we change it up. We build one back. Don't burn this one down yet. Don't burn this one down. People should be working as a whole to try to bring justice. There shouldn't be teams. There should not whatsoever be teams. So let's jump into the audio of this.
I wish I could give you all
Let me know if y'all can hear that good.
Let me do this real quick. Over here, mute that. Everybody can hear me fine?
Y'all hear him fine? Thumbs up, guys. Okay, so he's just being quiet right now. He does this. He'll get in these like long dramatic pauses, you know. But he's getting ready to go.
I want to thank everybody for coming into my life today. There's been some things going on. There's been a lot of horrible things going on YouTube as of late. Some despicable things. Some of the stuff I'm not even going to address. It's disgusting.
Hold on. I didn't took those.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. The first one.
That
Awesome.
was the day that I made
you.
when you got them.
Ellie Power, sorry. I'm trying to get things. I haven't been on here in a while, obviously. There's several YouTubers out there. I want to thank for keeping Sebastian's name going out there.
We
I know
try.
you guys haven't seen me for a while. And I do appreciate everybody that's been handing out flyers, continuing to talk about Sebastian. I continue to ask people to hand out flyers because that's been my main thing, to ask everybody, hand out flyers.
But there's nobody
Continue to talk about him. Keep your eyes open. He is out there. The only goal that I have is to find my son and to bring him home. There are a few things that I do want to address. The people using my name, sending my name out in emails and stuff without addressing it with me. Anybody that's doing that, they should be talking.
One thing I will say, I'm going to pause it real quick, is, you know, Seth, he's been using the FBI's flyer as of recently. He hasn't been using that intelligence agency with the fake, what I believe is a fake reward up there. I don't think nobody in this chat room believes that reward of $500,000 for Sebastian is real. Okay. That's something that they use for clickbait. That's something they use to, the actual reward for Sebastian is $50,000, up to $50,000. It's not even 50,000. It's up to 50,000. But there was a flyer that came out, and you know, it basically said, if you see Sebastian, call Dog the Bounty Hunter. Well, what the hell you want me to call Dog and tell him that you old and you washed up? You know, what? You the dog, you ain't got no bite no more. You ain't a pit bull. You more like a barking ass chihuahua that can't remember people's name. You want me to call that senile ass dog that belongs on the porch? Okay. Please shut up and play the video. I tell you what, you get the hell permanently out my chat room. All right. See you later. Zero tolerance for that shit. You tuned into Dolly Vision. You didn't tune into Seth Rogers. Okay. Remember that. My guns are loaded tonight, baby. Come in with some slick shit if you, huh? Oh, well, you got double blocked. PJ blocked you and I blocked you. Okay. So these things have to be addressed because this is important. Seth did the right move. He shared the flyer from the FBI and not this fake intelligence agency that's been pushing people that are trying to sell a book and try to stay relevant. And that's facts. All right, now I'll shut up and play the video.
Talking with me first. I just want this to be a record that not everybody's speaking with me. People using my son's name to be a promotion to do something, if they are not speaking with me or my son's mother and prefer they're speaking with both of us, or if they're doing some type of event that they are having either Katie Lynn Proudfoot or me, Seth Robert Rogers, at the event, to make sure that it is properly done. And when I say properly, that we're there to make sure that it is being done, that it's probably not an official type of thing. If people are going to be doing that sort of stuff, please make sure that you're obeying by the laws.
Dolly's a pit bull, okay? Off his chain.
I'm not up for any type of vandalism, violence, or any of that sort of stuff. No trespassing, no impeding people's way to their work, no trespassing on people's property, not interfering with people getting to work, not violating people's spaces.
Seth started this
not
off so
trespassing
good.
on their property. I heard something about somebody doing something on Sebastian's birthday. I have not been made aware of this. I don't know if Katie has been made aware of this. But whatever you're doing, please do not be harassing Chris and Katie at their house. Even if it is true that I heard that they don't even live there anymore and they have somebody else living there.
Okay, just real quick, because you know I got to do my commentary on this. He started off so good. Don't harass the family. We don't know if you're going to do something with the kid using the kid's name, contact the parents first. You know, he including Katie in a lot of this, and that's how it should be. You know, because we hear Seth, and he's going to get to this where everything's my this, my kid this, my name this, my shirt, my. And we hear that a lot from Seth, but it's not really. It's their kid. He should be using the word our child, not my child, because that kid is just as much Katie's as his. And like I said, right now, we don't have any proof that anybody did anything. We suspect that they did, of course, and I'm on the same page as you on that. Don't get me wrong. But he started off so good. Like maybe there was a possible path to everybody working together. And that's what I've been wanting, everybody to come together and work together and put a search party together and get out there and try to really find Sebastian, because I truly believe if you're not searching, you're not going to find something you're not looking for. Handing out flyers, I don't think Sebastian's walking around the town come out, hey, I'm living my best life. I just truly don't believe that. I believe that somewhere Sebastian Rogers, trigger warning guys, has met some foul play, and we need to find him. Okay. And I don't think he's alive and healthy. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Y'all may disagree with me, and that's perfectly fine. But that's why it's so important to search. Even if he's not with us, he needs to be found and he needs to be brought back. So there's some closure to this, because we don't want this to go on forever. But if nobody's out there looking for this child, it's like a set of car keys. If you put them down somewhere and you don't look for them, they're not going to magically jump off the counter, fly into your lap and be like, here I am. That's not going to happen. That's crazy thinking. And when you lose something, the best way to get it back is to look for it.
Do not be harassing Chris and Katie's neighbors. Yes, Sebastian resided there, but he also resided here. People drive up and down this, take pictures of my house. I've had people come to my house. You come here and you ask for flyers and stuff, and I will give them to you. I do not have a problem with that. Chris does have a problem with people coming to his house. Chris has a problem with that. Katie has a problem with that.
They do. They don't want people at their home.
I do not have a problem with people coming to ask me for flyers and stuff. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with people looking for my son.
Now, Chris and Katie have said that you know, they make it clear they don't want people coming to their house. That's positively. But they have said, listen, if you have any questions, and they're not like horrible accusing us questions, so you just have some concerns, you're more than willing to reach out to us on Facebook, to him anyway, right? He don't really want nobody talking to Katie. He's super protective of Katie. Is he protecting her because he knows something, or is he protecting her because he's a loving husband? That could be either way. He could be protecting her because, you know, she may slip up and say some shit she ain't supposed to, or he could just be a caring man and just trying to protect his wife from weirdos, right? Because there's some weird people in this world. I lean towards the first one, but the second one is possible.
What my son found. I can only speak for myself. I do not speak for anybody else. Let it be clear. I want my son found. I speak for myself. I have flyers if people need them, and I have no problem handing flyers to people to spread that at all. Now, I have a problem for people speaking for me. People say that they do speak for me. Not everybody speaks for me. I speak for myself. There were some emails that were sent for a previous event, an organization. I went to that event. Me and several other people went to that event. I enjoyed the event. I spoke with several people at the event. The community has not forgotten that Sebastian is missing. People that were serving food were a lot of Sebastian's classmates. People that were there with the organization that were doing the event know that Sebastian was missing. The only reason I wanted to go was to let them know that I was there representing Sebastian. I wanted them.
All right, guys, if you're tuning in, we got like 599 likes on this video. Do me a solid. Hit that like button. We got a lot to go over tonight. All right, we're just getting warmed up. So take a second, hit that like button for me. And then once you do that, don't cheat because I'm watching your ass, right? I can see a little bit. Hit that like button. It's absolutely free. We're running a deal this week. Free to hit the like button. And of course, once you do that, I want you to shout out in the chat room where you're watching from, because I love knowing where you beautiful people at, and I'll try to shut up and we'll get through this peacefully. And I won't have to stop a million times and tell you guys to like the video because you're already done it. Because you know why? Because you're absolutely awesome. All right.
And to know that as his father, I was still there because Sebastian was part of that. And I wanted them to know that I was there. And I appreciate the fact that they knew who I was and that Sebastian has not been forgotten. And I appreciate Hendersonville for understanding where I am coming from and that my son is my life. And I appreciate the fact that they know that I was there. And I appreciate them understanding that I felt it when I was walking through there. That's Sebastian's dad. I heard that a lot. And then I heard the conversations that they were having about Sebastian after they saw me. I was there wearing Sebastian's shirts. And I heard them having conversations about Sebastian. And that is what touched.
Okay, so somebody said in the chat, good questions. Where's TikTok Tony, Mr. 1202? Well, listen, guys, something went down behind the scenes. We just don't know what. You know, when I thought, they kind of, at one point, they threw BHB under the bus, I thought all the dirt was going to come out at that point, right? But it didn't. And I was kind of surprised on that because, when you do dirty things behind the scenes, each one of them knows a little bit of dirt on each other. And if you throw any of that dirt out, all of it comes spilling out, right? And so we really don't know what transpired behind the scenes, but we notice some people are clearly missing. MIA. Maybe they've been taken captive by the North Koreans. I don't know, right? Maybe Russia got some. I'm not sure. Hezbollah. I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. Were they beheaded by the Taliban? I'm not quite sure. I just know, like you guys know, that there's some people missing, But listen, like I said, when you do things that are not on the up and up, eventually, when you build a house of cards and you don't build it on a solid foundation, it eventually all comes crumbling down. All right.
Touched me. Because my son is not here. I have a problem with people in there, in that community. That problem happens to be the sheriff's department. That problem happens to be the DA's office. These are people, I believe, that are not doing their job the way they should have done their job. Because my son...
I gotta answer this question. I'm sorry, guys, for pausing it. Why is Dog not involved anymore? Because Dog is working the case of that girl that got stabbed in the neck. What's her name? Ellen Greenworth? Is that it, PJ? But Dog wasn't legit, right? I listen, I respect Dog for his bounty hunter skills and the legacy he brought to bounty hunting. Ellen Greenberg. Okay, what did I say? Greenwood? Okay, I was close. I knew it was Ellen Green something. But that's the woman that was in the room and allegedly unalived herself with multiple stab wounds. And it was like 20 stab wounds. And I know what you're thinking. How could you stab yourself 20 times? So a lot of people believe she was Jason Voorhees. Okay, we just say it like that because YouTube's funny about those words. But we don't know. And he's jumped on that case. And it's one of these things where I think he's just trying to stay relevant. And I know people hate on me, especially when I was saying that in the beginning. People are like, oh, you just jealous of Dog. Because, people want to say mean things and slick shit in the chat. I wasn't being jealous. I was just being honest. I was thinking, listen, this ain't got nothing to do with bounty hunting. This ain't your playground. This has always been Dolly's playground. I never claimed to be a bounty hunter. I always search for missing people. So this is what I do. This is right inside my wheelhouse. But people are thinking I'm jealous of a damn 80-year-old man with feathers in his hair. No. I've never tried to get on reality TV. No, I can't say that. I did try to get on Survivor, right? Because I wanted to play the game. I think I can win. I still would like to get up there, but I'm a little old now. But I never wanted a reality TV show like that. I would like to have been on a game. Would have been cool. But no, I'm not jealous of Dog. I thought it was very, very disrespectful to get on national TV and not know Seth's name, not know Sebastian Rogers' name. Just the simplest shit. I can understand you don't know the whole story, but not to know their names. And then the first thing you do is promote your damn book. You knew the name of your book, but you didn't know the name of the missing people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Damn.
Son has not been found. It's not with the individual people in the community. I know people in the community know that Sebastian is missing. And I know that they are wanting Sebastian found individually. I would love for the sheriff's department to grow a set and have some responsibility. And I'd like them to actually speak about my son. Not say what they're doing, but actually speak about what they have done. Not what they are doing, but what they have done. Or even come out and speak and state that they are still working on it. But instead, they will not even do that. They're keeping it so tight-lipped that it seems that they're not doing anything. And to bring that up,
I feel bad for him there. I agree.
I would like to know why it is that Brandon Carter, the one detective on the case, which I have multiple text messages from this person, states that he is the only detective on the case as of now because they have gotten rid of Tim Bailey because he has retired last year. They never put any more people on the case, but I have multiple text messages stating that he's busy in court on other cases, which state that he is not even only working on Sebastian's case. He is just a detective that is working on Sebastian's case.
Well, here's the problem with this whole thing right here. So many kids go missing, right? And they haven't been able to determine foul play on Sebastian Rogers. This is fact, right? The police have not determined it to be foul play. So they don't have if you put one cop for every kid that's missing in this country, we wouldn't have enough cops to cover them all. That's how many children are missing in this country. There's more children missing than there are cops. It's sad that there's only one person working on Sebastian's case. And not only that, he has multiple cases to work on while he's doing it. Cops are overwhelmed. Being a police officer or detective in this country is a really hard job. We got to give them people some credit. But, the same as Seth, I wish there was more people too working on the Sebastian Rogers case. And I wish they would give updates and be more transparent about what's going on. So I understand his anger right there. I would be a little upset too. To be dead honest with you, I'd be like, listen, but you got to remember everything that went down in the beginning with Seth telling things he wasn't supposed to tell as they were telling him. And then Seth got up here blaming people. And if he hadn't done that, would the police have been more open to tell him things? Possibly, hypothetically, maybe.
Which means he is a detective with multiple cases, and Sebastian is just one of the cases that he is on. And he does not even have the integrity to tell the truth. That's the kind of stuff that leads to, it just leads to me believing nothing that comes out of his mouth. When you sit there and lie over and over and over again, and I start catching you in a lie over and over, and it's not just one lie, it's multiple lies, at which point in time do you actually think that I'm going to believe any of your lies, Brandon? Somebody in law enforcement, you're supposed to represent the badge does not represent you. Catch you in too many lies, you're just a criminal. You're just the person that uses the badge to get whatever you want, which makes you just about as useful as a holy blanket.
Well, a holy blanket keep you a little warm, just not completely.
I don't know what your protocol is in Sumner County for only having one detective on the case, but when you have only one detective on multiple cases, every case is going to suffer.
Now, I've seen somebody in the chat room just say, well, it's a bad move to attack the only detective that's working on your kid's case. Yeah, I think if the police don't like you, they're not going to want to communicate with you. And if they don't want to communicate with you, they're definitely not going to tell you anything. So I think you get more bees with honey than you do being mean and hateful to the police. Now, there is a certain point, and I think Seth's at the point to where he should be saying something to the police like, listen, there's things that the police did that I don't agree with. They gave a press conference of Sebastian Rogers, and they didn't even have a picture of him on the screen. I mean, damn, we got a picture of the kid on the screen tonight, and I'm an idiot. Okay, so you got a whole damn police station full of people that are below idiot level. You can't even get a picture of the damn kid you're talking about. You can't even damn digitally add one to the shit. I mean, that is crazy to me. You doing a press conference for a missing child and you don't got a picture of the missing child. You ain't even holding up a flyer with his picture on it. Okay. Damn, remember when JLR used to do the videos? Now he holds his phone, but remember when he used to hold the flyer? Anybody remember that? He would it had the picture like on a fucking piece of notebook paper, and he would show it every time he did a video. Anybody remember that? At least he had a damn picture, right? At least he had a picture. It was a folded up damn shit he pulled out of his scrapbook, but he had one, right? Now he holds his phone like this, right? But I remember when he used to hold the piece of paper with the picture on it. I'll stop. That was the good old days. That was the good old days.
Which then leads to resources. You have a sheriff that's asking for multiple resources, and he's asking for more resources to pay his people, but then he's turning around and he's asking the city for $223,000, I believe, is what he asked for at the last city.
Come on in, breaking news,
so that
breaking
he
news.
could turn around and rebuild his office. Buddy, you should be working out of a tent to solve cases before you worry about the roof over your head. 2 years now is what we're coming up on. And you won't even do a proper won't even do a proper.
Come on in. You the next contestant on Jazz Fingers.
You won't even do a proper TV interview for my son. You can't even put his picture up when you sit there and speak about him.
Don't blink.
You guys don't do a proper scene. My son went missing, and you guys immediately 8 days. 8 days, you guys want to sit there and you call in so many different counties, but the scene was handled horribly. You treat it as a runaway, but you don't even know if it's a runaway or not.
That's what I said.
How many days did it take for y'all to turn around and get not
You
public
remember the
announcement?
flyers?
It's a press conference. Thank you. Sorry, my brain has been running 24/7 so long that half the time I don't know if it's day or night or I'm confused by the fact that they don't follow protocol for any of the stuff that they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, Bonnie, you said this. I'm glad you brought this up. It says, we need shirts with the missing kids' pictures on it. I'd buy one of each. Well, Bonnie, if you want to help Seth, he does have a merch store. Okay, I talked about this last night. And to me, if you're going to sell, I have to use my child as an example. If I was going to sell a picture of my child on a t-shirt, I would give half the money to the mother because it's her child too. It ain't just my child, it's our child. And, one of the things that Chris and Katie really got mad about Seth with in the beginning, and we learned this from the PI, well, we knew this anyway, but they had made an agreement that it would be no money raised off of Sebastian, that they didn't want anybody to make any money off of Sebastian, right? They didn't. And they had an agreement in that. After they agreed to this, the next day, Seth had a GoFundMe. And that, money's the root of all evil. And that right there, because you remember the family was working together. There was no divide. There was no name calling. Chris, and for anybody that don't know, Seth and Chris went out the first day searching together. They went to homeless encampments and they were going around searching in the woods. A lot of people don't remember that they were working together. They were friends. Then that money came between them. Poof. And then from there, it was like a plane crash. Right? And now they're bitter enemies. And a lot of that has to do with the money. But Seth is selling t-shirts. But I doubt that he's really given anything to Katie. But he did include Katie in the beginning of this when he was saying, if you want to put an event together, get the permission of me or his mother, which I thought was good because now he's including Katie. Now, as far as the t-shirts go, it's great that you would want to share his thing, but I hope that I can't tell the man how to financially do what he does, but I would hope that money would go to help search for Sebastian Rogers for the right reasons, right? So, but if you want a shirt, Bonnie, he does have shirts. You can go get a link. He has a merch store. He got flags, t-shirts, all that stuff. The scary part is where does that money go? And if you don't care where it goes, then go buy you a t-shirt. You see what I'm saying? I'm not knocking what he's doing. I just hope and pray that he uses this to further the search or to help find Sebastian. That's really what it's all about. And all the fighting needs to end, all the name calling needs to end, all the accusing needs to end, and we need to find this child. And then I think once we do, all the answers will come. We're jumping a step. Let's find him and then prosecute the shit out of whoever did what to him. We're trying to prosecute people before we even know exactly where he's at.
I'm confused by what I see on the internet. I mean, there's a child missing, and I see true crime people putting my son's name in the titles of their videos. They're making fun of other YouTubers. Hey, if you want to do that,
It's like he was watching me. Listen, I wasn't making fun of JLR. I was just pointing out a fact. Okay. When it's the truth, it ain't making fun of other YouTubers. I just want to say that when it's absolutely the truth.
That's all fine. Take my son's name out of it, though.
Well, and I ain't got your name.
Have a little respect for a missing child. My son's name is not in this title. It's just been too long. Because there's a lot of stuff that's just been too long. You know,
Okay.
there's just a lot of stuff that's just been too.
You're right. It's been too long. And this is, I got to read this comment from Debbie. Debbie says, Seth won't search now because he truly believes his son is alive. Don't you think that's even more reason to be searching? Right? I would think if he's alive, you need to search for him. If he's not alive, I think you need to search for him too. So I think, I'm talking about physically searching. I'm not sitting up here talking on the internet, because what this does is spreads awareness. What Seth is doing right now is he's not searching. He's spreading awareness, which is good. Same thing I'm doing right now, spreading awareness about the case. He's not searching. He's spreading awareness. He has to understand there's a difference between spreading awareness and actually physically searching for the kid. I want to see people physically searching for the kid. We've been spreading awareness for 2 years, and it's good. I ain't saying don't stop. I mean, keep it going. But at some time, you have to search for the kid if you want to find them. And you sit here saying, I'm searching for my kid. Technically, you're not. You're spreading awareness for your child. Searching is a physical activity where you get out and look for something.
Too long. There's been too long. Been too long. Let's go with been too long. How about it's been too long since I've seen my son?
True.
It's been too long since I've been able to talk to my ex-wife about my son.
True.
How about it took 9 months, Katie, for you carrying our son, all right, 9 months.
He called himself
9 months because Sebastian was late. It was more than 9 months that you carried him because Sebastian was late. Sebastian was born on December 7th, 2008, and he was 5 days late. 5 days late. All right. 5 days late. So many complications.
I thought similar too.
For every
a little bit.
One of them. And I was there with you for the whole pregnancy, babe.
Babe.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't call you babe. I was there the whole time, Katie. I was there the whole time. You and I.
This gets bad. Cringy.
Created this wonderful being that was gifted to us by God.
Amen. Facts.
And Sebastian decided that he did not want to come out when the doctor said he was supposed to come out. He was stubborn before he even came out.
Now, people asking, is he drinking? I don't know. I'm not there with him. But me and PJ was watching this live while some people were stream sniping his stream. Terrible. Why would you stream snipe to father's stream, right? But I asked the same thing. I said, has he been drinking a little bit? But sometimes when you get upset, emotional, you will start to slur a little bit your words. And I don't know if he's drinking or not. There was one point where he was, was injured and he was taking pain meds and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's under the influence or not. He just, sometimes people get sad, it is what it is. This is one of those parts where I felt sorry for him. And he seems really jealous about the Katie situation, which, like I said, is, he's looking at Chris like this is a man that stole his woman. You should be upset with Katie. Katie left you, man. Chris didn't steal your woman. He can't steal your woman. Like T-Rev didn't steal your woman. Okay? That woman didn't want to be with you and she chose somebody else other than you. That's what you have to remember. That, listen, if you look at it like this, if somebody truly don't love you, you better off with them leaving you. So you can find somebody that truly does love you. Right? It's a fact. You're better as a person alone than being with somebody you think loves you and don't. All right, I just want to touch in on that. And he's crying. It's sad.
He's like, nah, I'm not going to listen to you. Nope, not going to come out. I'm going to stick around. Came out December 7th, which happens to be my dad's birthday, too. So he comes out December 7th. Pearl Harbor Day.
He'll be 17.
December 7th, my dad's birthday, and we are blessed with this miracle.
Give him a second. He's a little emotional.
Why is it, Katie, that in order for me to speak with you, I have to talk to this thing that you have decided is your husband now? He had nothing to do with you and I creating Sebastian. He has nothing to do with Sebastian. He had nothing to do with you and I having a son. He had everything to do with us not being together now. Has everything to do with Sebastian not being here now. Has everything to do with you and I not being together. Has everything to do with not being a family. And that's fine.
Okay, I got to stop it right there because you're wrong, Seth. Katie is the reason you're not a family. Katie chose this man over you. This man didn't come in and kidnap Katie. Katie wasn't happy, and she decided that that man made her more happy, and she left you. The truth hurts, man. It's hard to accept it, right? But at some point, you have to accept it. You need to be thinking, well, what could I have done to have been a better husband to Katie, or a better person to Katie, where she wouldn't have chose somebody over me? It's easy to look at, but put the blame onto somebody else instead of saying, well, am I at fault? Maybe I wasn't there when she needed me. Maybe I didn't care about her emotions or her feelings, or or these types of things. Maybe I wasn't the best husband. It's harder to see your own flaws, you know, but she chose somebody over you. You have to accept that. And you know, it's been over 7 years, right? 8 years now or something like that. Listen, everything in this world happens for a reason. You know, maybe there is somebody out there that will love Seth and treat Seth good. And if you were there with Katie, you would never meet that person. But hopefully you will meet a person that dries up your tears and makes you realize that Katie ain't everything you thought she was. Facts.
It's okay. It's okay with him having everything to do with destroying the family that you and I had. That's fine. That's fine. But why is it that I can't sit there and speak with you about trying to find our son unless I speak to this thing that thinks he's a man? Because let me give you my opinion. Just mine. Just my lonely little opinion. As a man, if any male wants to sit there and look at another man's wife and decide that he is going to take that person from that other guy and court them, which I don't even think he courted you. But if another male is going to look at a female that is married and decide that they're going to take them from another person that's married.
All right, let me address this comment. It says, oh, BS, Dolly. She cheated because she wanted to. Absolutely. She wanted to be with somebody else. That's what I'm saying. That's not Seth's fault. Right? She chose. She didn't want to be with him. I'm sure she had her reasons why she didn't want to be with him. My husband blamed his affair on me also, instead of taking accountability. Well, your husband wanted to be with somebody else. I mean, your statement kind of answers itself. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Katie chose somebody else, and Seth is still sad about it 8 years later. There's nothing you can do, right? She didn't want to be with you. You can't force somebody to love you in this world. So many people try to force love, but either somebody's going to love you with their whole heart or they're not. I hate to say that to you, you know, and some people can work out those differences. Sometimes there's rough patches, you know, love ain't just, you know, maybe your husband strayed and realized, you know what, this was a mistake. I love my wife. That happens. You know, I thought the grass was greener on the other side because it was fertilized with bullshit. Right? So I'm sorry that your husband cheated on you. That's never good for anybody. You know, it's terrible for your emotions. But sometimes, you know, love takes work. It does.
That male needs to remember that when he takes that female from that male and that female has a child, he needs to remember that he's not taking just the female. He is also.
You're absolutely right. He's not saying that he's jealous. He's showing that he's jealous. Okay? He ain't saying it. You're absolutely right. He's not saying he's jealous, but he's showing he's jealous. I'm a man. Okay? There's one thing I know is when a man is jealous. It's obvious. It's like you I can see it a mile away, right? Which, listen, I just, you know, I don't want to see Seth upset, but he shouldn't be. He's mad at Chris when he should be really mad at Katie. Katie's the one that broke his heart. Katie's the one that was with his son. Katie's the one that chose this man. But it's Chris's fault? No, it is Katie's fault.
Also needs to be responsible for protecting that male's offspring with his life. because that offspring is that male's life. And for your, whatever you want to call him, to ask me that question that he asked, what are you going to do if it goes south within 30 minutes of walking through the front door after he, quote unquote, gets to Memphis as fast as it, from Memphis to your house? Because it's your property, remember? Ask me, what are you going to do if it goes south? That question alone tells me he's not a man or a father. Because no man or father would ever ask another father, what are you going to do if it goes south? Because no father would ever ask another father what he's going to do. Because a father already knows the answer to that question. No father would ask another father that question, because a father knows the answer without ever asking that question. And Chris, you already know that answer. It's a shame that you didn't have one in your life to answer that question for you. But you should know the answer just by my look. You should know. You're a despicable waste.
Yeah, I'm glad you said this. Now, you're absolutely right. He should be mad at CP for how he treated his son. I can agree with that. Now, if he was up here saying, you whipped my child, you piece of shit, you know, you're a coward, you shouldn't put your hands on another man's child, you know, he has a father in his life, I would 100% agree with what you're saying. Absolutely. You know, but it ain't that attack. He knew what was going on in that home, and he acted like he didn't. Sebastian didn't want to go back, and he sent Sebastian back anyway. We got to remember that. Now, I'm sure he regrets that, and I'm sure when he did that, he didn't know Sebastian was going to come up missing. But he knew that they were talking to Sebastian poorly and, well, shitty, right? And he was in his room, and he had to wear diapers, and Seth knew all this, so he can't act surprised to it. And why didn't he do something then? Why didn't he put his foot down? You know, I use this as a prime example. My daughter, which is scary for a man, because when your daughter goes to stay with some other guy and your baby's mama's with somebody else, you know, and I'll tell you what I did. I called the dude and I said, listen, you ever discipline my kid or put your hands on my kid, and I will go to prison. Absolutely. You know what he never did? He never disciplined my kid. He never put his hands on my kid, because you know why? He knew when I called him and told him that, I was absolutely serious. Like, I won't lose sleep behind it. You do something to my child, and there's consequences for it. Seth, you know, he should have, you know, been a little more angry about the situation, I feel like. But listen, you can't tell another person how to parent. Everybody parents differently, you know? I just want to throw that out there. You know, he knew these things were occurring. Could he have done something? I mean, yeah, you know, even his mother knew something was going on. Remember Mrs. Rogers, his mother? But she didn't want to tell Seth because she was scared Seth would lose his career. So Sebastian was crying out for help. But I don't think he got the help he needed. You know, and that's sad. That's terrible. So I'm sure a lot of these people have a lot of regret for what, if they would have done one thing different, we may not be at this spot right here that we're at right now, if different decisions had been made. But poor decision making has led us to where we're at.
Pray that my son is found. He's found healthy. Pray. 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 My son deserves better than you. pray. My son has been failed by CPS. My son has been failed by the sheriff's department. My son has been failed by TBI. My son has been failed by the DA of Sumner County. My son has been failed by so many people. It's
I agree with that.
infuriating. And things need to change. And I'm coming here today because I feel like I need to remind Sebastian's army that when I ask you all to hand out flyers,
What happened to the army? I've always been Team Sebastian. Sebastian's army, they're missing. Okay. They're missing. I'm about to put up missing TikTok Tony pictures, right? Where the hell is TikTok Tony? Where's all these people that said they would be there to the end? Now we need more missing posts. You better get some more flyers, Seth. There's a whole lot of people missing around you now. Where they at? And I tried to tell them. I was like, yeah, you think these people are your friends? You picked the wrong damn people. My question now is, should we get more flyers with the Sebastian's army pictures on them? Because your captains, your generals, all them people are long gone. Kind of sad, man. You know, but I knew this was coming when you ran off all the good people to surround yourself with people that wasn't good. I was like, this shit ain't going to end good.
I'm serious. Hand out flyers. We have to keep our eyes open. We have to. If you stop looking and you stop handing out flyers, then you've given up. I refuse to give up. I have faith that my son is out there. I have faith that my son will be found. Because that's all I have. I have faith in God. I have faith in Jesus. My son will be found. I have faith in God that God put his only son here because I am not perfect. And he put his son here for my sins.
All of
so
our
I
sins.
have something to strive for.
Okay, listen. Everything is my with Seth. God put Jesus here for all our sins. All of us. Okay? Not just you, Seth. The world don't revolve around you. The universe don't revolve around you. Okay? This is a team game. Okay? Like we're all here together. It's not just your God. It's all of our gods. Okay? So it's the my thing is what you need to change. That's the best advice I could give Seth, right? I've always tried to give him. Gigi, thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express with us. Make sure you get a window seat and buckle up because it gets a little bumpy. You know, some of it's a little, I don't want to be mean to Seth, but somebody has to be real with you. A true friend, I tell you the truth. Now, I'm not Seth's friend. I don't claim to be Seth's friend, but a real person, I tell you the truth even when you don't really want to hear it. Even when when it's not patting you on the ass. If you want a bunch of yes people around you, I probably ain't the person to be around you because I'm going to tell you what I truly believe and what I think is best for your interest, right? And I always have. And that's how I always will continue to be. So I don't hate Seth. Some of the things he does, I disagree with. Some of the things I agree with. I agree he should be angry with the job of the police and they should do more. I believe he should be searching, but I'm thankful that he's spreading awareness. At least something's being done, right?
And I am here because my son is here. And my son being here is what I strive for. To be here for him.
She said that she was choking.
And I am here to find my son. I am here to find him. I'm not done making memories with my son. This is a setback in life. I need people to stay here and help find my son. Help by passing out the flyers. I believe it was 3 days ago, I shared a flyer yet again. It is an FBI flyer that I shared to my post. Use that flyer. I do not know why Sumner County does not want the FBI flyer used. It's petty. It's petty. But that's the flyer I'm going to use, is the FBI flyer. I don't understand why Sumner County is a little pissing match with the FBI. But I definitely would trust the FBI over Sumner County. I know that's a big stretch for some people to trust the FBI over Sumner County. In this world, it's really hard to figure out who to trust.
Amen to
But what
that.
it boils down to is I have to trust the FBI more than I trust Sumner County. There's a lot of problems, and we need to be willing to actually march our issues all the way to our representatives, our state representatives, our Senate representatives. We need to remember that we are the people. We are the people. Our children suffer every time that we elect these people to represent us, and they don't represent us. They get elected into office, and then all of a sudden they're stealing resources. They're fraudulent. They got multiple $1-million freaking estates while they sit there and they're they're living in multi-million-dollar estates.
That's true. Yeah, I mean,
While
there
they
are
couldn't
some
rub
bad
two pennies
politicians.
together before they got elected. There is a problem with that, people. There is a problem.
I agree
It's
with
not the
that.
fact that the system has failed. The fact is that we have allowed the system to fail because we have put the people in this position to use that system against us. Because checks and balances are not being used properly. This goes back to economics and government, things that they're supposed to be continuing to teach us.
Today.
They taught this stuff back in my day in
Today.
school. And the fact is that we've let it get out of control. It goes all the way back to, how is it that these mayors are still in control? How is it that they can?
Okay, we don't have 1K likes yet. How many likes do we have on this video? How dirty are y'all doing me tonight? I'm kind of curious now. Let me look. All right, let me look and see how many likes we got on this video. Just in case I need to rage quit. We got 926 likes on this video and 1,400 people in the room with us tonight. So that means, man, like 600 of you did not like the video. That's big. Hey, y'all gonna do me like that? Y'all gonna do me on a Sunday night? Okay, I am telling Jesus. All right, I am telling Jesus on you guys at this point. Don't do me like that, guys, because then I gotta stop and tell you guys to like the video and stuff like that, and it just cuts into the time, right? So definitely take a second and let's at least get me up to 1,000. Okay, now shut up right there at the 1K mark. 600 are sleeping. Okay, I done talked y'all into a coma.
Continue to get elected over and over and over again. Over and over and over
Bush
again.
watchers.
They shouldn't be. There needs to, term limits is one thing, but how many How many terms are you guys going to let the sheriff be in there? How many times are you guys going to allow the sheriff to be reelected? How many times? That's just Sumner County. I live in Montgomery County. I've seen what has happened here in Montgomery County. I've seen what this sheriff has done, and he's probably not gonna like what I'm about to say. I mean,
we at 1K. Well, thank you guys. We can do
his
better,
daughter
guys.
he did some really messed up stuff when his daughter did what she did. What is this whispering? Hold on a minute. Whispering. Where is it? Whispering wins Donna. No one is being held accountable. The reason no one is being held accountable is because we the people, if we do not hold them accountable, nobody is going to hold them accountable. We have to hold them accountable. We, the people, have to hold these people accountable. We do. Sheriffs are an elected position. Sheriffs are elected position. Not every place, but most places, the sheriff is an elected position.
Yeah, it turned into politics.
The real me, exactly, Seth. The people have to vote them out. You're right. The sheriff shouldn't be useless. Joanne Adkins. The sheriff shouldn't be useless.
That love, Grace.
The sheriff should be the person that's making sure all of his deputies are doing their job. The sheriff should be the one making sure that the corruption has been eliminated. It's been too long that some of these people are in power. We, the people, put them in power, and then they sit there and they stomp all over.
He's gonna get pulled over every time he leaves the house.
And who suffers from it? Our children suffer from it. Our children suffer from it.
Amen,
we have
Jenny.
an epidemic from it. 400,000 missing children in the United States of America. My kid is one of them. Should be a lot of upset parents out here. Should be a lot of upset parents out here. There should be a lot of upset aunts and uncles.
There are.
Should be a lot of upset teachers. Should be a lot of upset people. Shouldn't just be me.
Sipping and tipping. That's my saying right there.
We are not willing to band together as a people to take care of the problem with our children going missing, being trafficked, being abused. Who's going to take care of us in the next generation?
I don't know where he went with this.
There won't be another generation.
There won't be another generation. I don't know. Maybe just a sadness kicking in, or maybe, one too many Colt 45s. I'm not quite sure. I'm not. It went from missing kids to politics to church service. It kind of went. It took a weird turn somewhere. Like, I think we drove right past our exit, and we're looking for a U-turn to get back to the missing child. At this point, it's like when you pass your exit on the interstate, you're like, oh shit, I got to go down to this next one. And then we got to do a U-turn. It's like he missed it by like 2 exits. Right? He went to politics, to religion. I'm still just waiting for him to circle back to damn.
There won't be another generation. They'll be gone. Maybe it's just different for me. Maybe it's different because I only have one child. Maybe it's different if you have multiple children. But to me, I think that if I had 5 children and one went missing, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter if I had one gone missing or none gone missing. Gone almost 2 years, gone almost 2 minutes.
Okay. Is anybody confused by that? Well, if I had 5 kids and one was gone, it wouldn't matter. But if I had 1 kid and 5 went missing, I'm trying to do the math over here, right? I'm like, hold on, Seth. The math is not math. Okay. Did you have 5 Bud Lights or did you I don't know what the hell he was just talking about. Okay. Does anybody can anybody translate that for me? Because that was confusing as hell. You got 1 kid, but if one goes missing, you don't care because apparently you got 5 kids, right? But then if one goes missing, you would only have 4 kids. Hey, like, is this a math problem? Like a train leaves New York at 2:45. All right. It arrives in Philly at 4 o'clock. How many miles did that train travel? At what speed? Okay. Is that one of these? The math not mathing? Where's TikTok Tony when you need him? Okay. TikTok Tony would be like, well, I just want to know if we're any farther along today than we was on February 26th. That's the only question I have. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Minutes.
Whiskey math. Right, I guess.
Missing for 2 minutes, missing for 2 years. Missing is missing. I'm scared to even share stories about my son because I know you hate channels out there are just going to sit there and twist it.
No, I think you twisted that for us. Okay. Like, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Listen, I be twisting some shit. Don't get me wrong. I do. That right there, you didn't need me. You didn't need me to twist that up because I'm still thinking, I'm still trying to do the math, right? I don't know about y'all. 5 shots plus 5 beers equals late night YouTube crying. I don't know. I don't know if he's drinking or not. I know that was pretty damn confusing. And if we twist that up anymore, I don't know how you could twist it up, right? You did that shit on your own. I'm like, I'm sitting here confused, feeling sorry for you. Damn, it's like, what the hell? I ain't laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Okay, I just want you to know that. I ain't laughing at you. I'm just laughing with you.
And you know what?
You knew what he meant?
I don't care. I don't care. I didn't get to see my son. I don't get to see him. Get to hear him. I don't get to hug him. I don't get to make him his favorite meal. Betty's right when it comes to the petition. There is the
Oh, I don't care if he drinks. Listen, if I had a missing kid too, I had to do something to cope, to deal with the stress. Right? I mean, I'm not mad at the man that he's drinking. I just thought it was funny what he said. It didn't make a whole lot of, I mean, I guess you can interpret it what you think he meant, but it was a little confusing. I think we can all agree on that. I mean, he's definitely upset. Is he upset because he's been drinking, or is he just generally upset? I mean, I don't know. I haven't breathalyzed the man. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he drinks. If I was having a bad day, I might go drink. I don't drink a lot, but I'm having that bad of a day, I might go sip a tip of beer or two. It would be the first time. But I'm not one of those people that drink and cry. I get goofy. I like to laugh and play. Even when I'm drinking, I'm like that.
the petition that's online with the petitions that need to happen are the ones that need to be signed in ink.
That's a good thing. He needs a hug,
The
but it
ones
wouldn't
that I
reach
can
the
turn
pain
around
inside.
and take to an attorney and serve the DA's office and serve the sheriff's office.
Yeah, I mean, maybe late at night,
the other day,
I would.
got up, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, washed my face. I'm just looking in the mirror.
I think Seth
It
did
just
reach
hits
out to
me.
Joe Petito at one time.
Sebastian would get up and he would run from his room to the bathroom to use the bathroom. Then he'd wash his hands and he'd run across the hallway back to his room. And every time he did, he'd look over to see if I was awake when he ran.
This is weird.
See if he would wake me up, because he knew that if he woke me up, that the next thing he would do, he knew that the next thing that I would do, when I would come into his room, and if I woke up, I was going to come get him.
Okay, what the hell does that mean? What the hell does that mean? He would run to the bathroom and make sure I wasn't up, and he would look to see if I was up. And it sounds a little, and he knew I'd come get him. But what would you do? Would you say, hey, what is it a big deal? To me, if your kid gets up and goes to the bathroom, good. If he wakes you up, so, oh well, he had to go to the bathroom. I wake up PJ all the time, screaming on the live stream, going to the bathroom. I mean, it happens. If you got to go, you got to go. Would he be in trouble if he woke you up? I hope not. I mean, I didn't know quite where he was going with that. Like, I hope he wouldn't be in trouble if he woke you up for going to the bathroom, because we're already dealing with a child that, would use the bathroom on himself sometimes. So you got to encourage kids, to go to the bathroom, especially if they're wet in the bed. Like, hey, don't worry about waking me up. Don't worry about making noise. Just, make sure you get to the bathroom. Get up and, so I hope it wasn't something. It was just weird how he said it. He said it emotionally. So it's like, I don't know. Like, he knew Sebastian knew I'd come in the room and get him. What does the get him mean?
The best way I like to wake him up is
he's so emotional.
I tickle him, because I love to listen to him laugh. There's nothing better than him just laughing.
Yeah, so he's so emotional that he's kind of just rambling a little bit. Like I'd go in the room and get him, but then he switches gears. He's like, how I like to wake him up? I like to tickle him because I like to hear him laugh. It's like he's so emotional. Like, there should be an emotional switch on YouTube that turns your live feed off when you get too emotional, right? And I know it's hard. Listen, I do feel sorry for Seth, and nobody can probably understand what he's going through if you haven't lost a kid. But I don't know. He says some bizarre things.
There's just nothing better. You took that away from me, Chris. You took that away from me.
I don't know if it's drunk talk, guys. I don't know if he's drinking at all. I don't know.
You took that away from me.
He could just be upset,
I want it back. And I will fight for everything I can to get that back. You have no clue. You have no clue what it's like.
I said the same thing last night, and people, I think, kind of gave me a little bit of hell about it. I said, out of Chris and Katie, I think if one of them two, Seth and Katie, were on the spectrum, I would think it'd be more Seth, because he's awkward. He's socially awkward. And, he has more of a kid's tendencies, like playing the Magic of the Gathering and it's just the way he carries himself. I don't know if he's autistic, but I would say he's closer to a color on the spectrum than Katie is, and I don't know if Sebastian stuff is genetic or what, because I to be dead honest, I'm not an expert in Sebastian's condition, autism. You know what I'm saying? When I was young, everybody was just slow. They didn't really have autism. It wasn't a thing. They used the R word, and there was some people that had learning disabilities, and I guess there was truly a spectrum then, but it just wasn't identified like it is today. Like my kid tells me I have autism. I'm like, what? Because we go into a store, right? I'm not to cut it off, but we go into a store and there's a bunch of loud noise in the store, and I'm waiting in line, and I was like, the noise was just driving me crazy. I couldn't concentrate. So I told Tiff, I was like, come on, Tiff, we'll go to another store. I had to buy a battery for a car. And we get in the car and she goes, I told you got autism. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, see how you reacted to noise? And I was like, yeah, but it was so loud. She was like, yeah, but you have like you can't deal with it. You have like sensitivity to noise. And I was like, well, I think a lot of people have sensitivity to noise, right? I mean, it's loud as shit. It's like they're running machinery inside the store that is like, it sounds like a race car. And I was like, Tiff, I don't have autism. She was like, okay, whatever. It's just, I don't know. It's like everybody wants to label everything as autism these days.
You have no clue. You have no clue what I'm willing to do to get it back either. I will fight. This will never be a cold case. As long as I'm alive, this will never be a cold case. I'll never let it go cold. Only way it'll be cold is if I'm dead. And Katie, you don't want me to die. Because you know what happens then.
That was weird. What happens? Katie, you don't want me to be unalive because then you know what happens. What the hell is he talking about here, people? This is when you get upset and you start saying things you don't even know what you're saying because you're upset. You used to teach special needs. Okay, cool. Like, you don't want me to not be here because then you know what happens. What happens? I want to know. Like, that's a weird thing to say. That's a weird thing to say.
We need to start fighting this, not just in the passing out of the flyers. We need to make sure that we start fighting this in the political game, in the political ways to change it. Because if we don't start fighting this the way that they have taken this system and use the system against us, if we don't use that same system to take it back, to make it right,
oh Lord,
we'll never get our children back.
I'm sorry I clicked on that comment.
We'll never be able to protect our children the way that we should. Our forefathers that developed this country and wrote the Constitution, it's why it was written the way it was.
You know, when I posted this, I shared it in the channels and I put, you can't make this stuff up. You know, like, listen, I do feel sorry for Seth. Any father that's missing, any parent that's missing a kid. You know, I wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemies. You know, this is where you really need a friend. And to be like, hey man, you know, let's bring it back, right? And I get it. When you're emotional, you say things that let me share one quick story with you guys real fast. I know it's off topic. I took acting in school and public speaking. Well, I was in my acting class one day with my buddy Gary, right? And me and Gary are sitting there. We had this really nice teacher. She was the sweetest lady ever. She was our acting teacher. And uh she gets into an argument with this girl in the class because the girl won't listen. And the teacher starts crying, right? And she's crying. I mean, at this point, she is bawling out crying. And she's like, my fucking husband don't love me. I think he's cheating on me, and the fucking cats are pissing all over my house, right? Like, just the randomest thing to say, right? That she thinks her husband's cheating and the cats are peeing all over her house. And now, listen, I really like this teacher. She was the sweetest lady ever. Everybody's thinking she's acting, right? I was like, this chick is no, that ain't no act. You don't listen. You would win an award if you were staying. You'd be in Hollywood. You would not be no acting teacher. So I jump up, run down there because it's on like a acting class. You sit in like these pew type things, right? And she sits down at the bottom, almost like a college class. And so I run down and I hug her, and it's just, I mean, snot coming out, and everybody thinks she's faking. Like the whole class thinks the woman's faking. I was like, oh, no. She is not faking. And she was the sweetest. I couldn't believe it, right? But when she was emotional, she started to ramble whatever was in her mind, and saying it out loud. And when she got to the cats are pissing all over my house, I was like, okay, this is real. This shit is real. Like, and people are looking at her, and now I'm eyeing the black girl like, look what you done. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting here fighting with this woman, and now she's, so I was all pissed off. So when we finally got her out into the hallway, I went in and cussed the girl out in front of everybody. I was like, just, it was crazy. I just never forget that.
And it's time that we start doing what our forefathers did. And we need to use the system the way it was intended to. And it is time to get people out and get the right people in. The money is there. We just need to make sure that the money is going to the right resources. And we need to get the people out and get the right people in and make sure that things are going the right way.
Politics.
Things need to be redone.
That's what
there is no reason
guess,
why
right?
the Amber Alert system hasn't been redone. I never got an Amber Alert to my phone for my own son. I never got the Amber Alert for my own son.
Well, Sebastian was blessed that an Amber Alert did go out.
That's a problem. There is no reason why I took a Facebook lead and called Lebanon for a lead, and they had never heard that Sebastian went missing, and this was after the Amber Alert. This was 2 weeks after. This was after the 8 days. After the 8 days of searching. And I called, and they had never heard that Sebastian was missing.
Well, the thing is this. Honestly, much as this sucks, and we need to change this in the law, is an Amber Alert shouldn't have went out for Sebastian Rogers. There was no signs of kidnapping. There was no signs of a car. And usually you got to have that for Amber Alert. I think the reason they did this in the beginning is because they thought he was in danger because he was low functional autistic. But come to find out, he's high functioning autistic. So Seth should be thankful that an Amber Alert did go out. Because listen, there's a lot of missing kids out here that Amber Alerts don't go out for. And he needs to be grateful that there's a lot of kids that don't get no national attention. Just yesterday you had Vinnie Politan talking about him. You've had Nancy talking about Sebastian Rogers. He's been on all the national news channels. A lot of kids don't get that. I mean, so I think that's a really good thing for Sebastian. It sucks he hasn't been found. But think about all the kids that look at Jack and Lily Sullivan. No Amber Alert went out for them, and they're 4 and 6 years old. Sebastian was 15. So a lot of times we need to find a better way for our Amber Alert system. Here in Virginia, we have the Cody Alert. Any missing kid kind of qualifies for it. And they put out alert to everybody in Virginia on the Cody Alert. Cody Bixby's a little boy that I went to his trial and confronted his daddy. After that, they passed the Cody law here in Virginia to where if a kid goes missing, it notifies everybody in the area through an alert, just like the Amber Alert, but it's the Cody Alert. So it goes out in the whole area that this child is missing. We need more alerts, not just the Amber Alert, but other alerts. Like, here they have the Silver Alert, to where if, say, an older person goes missing from like Alzheimer's or dementia, they'll send out what they call the Silver Alert, which means be on the lookout for an older person that may not know who they are, or they've wandered off from their family, and they may have dementia.
Eight days. This was after the 8 days of searching. And yet that police department had never once heard that Sebastian was missing. That's a breaking in communication. That means the communication is not complete. That means the system is broken. That means it's not complete. Too much is broken. Nothing is, there's just too much. The police departments are not communicating. Sheriff's departments are not communicating. That means that TBI is competing with other sheriff's departments.
Truly, I do. I hope that woman, my teacher at that time, I hope that woman had a good life. She was one of the sweetest, nicest teachers I ever had. And I wish her nothing but the best. I hope she's still alive.
Which means that even the FBI is not being communicated with by other. Why is there a competition between law enforcement agencies when it shouldn't matter? The child is what matters. The missing person is the victim. It doesn't matter who finds the missing child. What matters is finding the missing child. It doesn't matter who finds the missing child. Mm-hmm. What matters is finding the missing child. But yet, police departments are competing against each other.
The only thing to follow for the Cody Alert here in Virginia is endangered missing child. That's it. So if your kid goes missing, they send out the Cody Alert, which is the same as the Amber Alert, but it just goes out in, I think it's the Hampton Roads area, the 7 cities. I don't think it's a statewide alert. It might be a statewide alert. I'm not quite sure. But when Juan Sebastian went missing, do y'all remember that young man I went looking for, Juan Sebastian? He actually tragically lost his life. He was playing on the ice and fell into the water. And me and PJ went out there and searched. And I got out and was speaking with the police. And the police lady was super nice. She was like, we've been thinking about issuing an Amber Alert for him, but he don't really fall under the criteria, but we could really issue it if we want to, right? They usually don't, but they will. So I think I don't know how far the Cody Alert goes out, because we got the Cody Alert. That's how we knew he was missing, and we instantly went looking. And, the next day, tragically, he had walked out onto the ice and fell through the ice, and they found him underneath the ice. And it was sad. But I spoke with the police that day, and she was telling me, they kind of pick and choose, even if everything don't fall in line, they can still really issue it if they really want to issue it. That's what she told me anyway.
And don't pass on the information. Two years now. Going on 2 years, and I shouldn't be going through this shit. Shouldn't be going through this shit.
Yeah, just endangered child.
This shit. Me and Sebastian should have been fishing this weekend. I shouldn't be here on YouTube sitting here speaking to people about what's going on. But maybe that's what God's purpose is. God's purpose is, hey, I'm going to make you suffer so that you will use that voice I gave you.
That's sad right there.
So you can get it out to other people.
Listen, suffering is one of those things that I'll never really understand why certain people have to suffer. You know, that's when I go into my whole Buddhist thing and what Buddha said, that it's always been and will always will be type thing. I mean, you know, they say if you ask for strength, God ain't going to just give you muscles. He's going to give you something to make you strong. And I don't know, man. It's one of those things that, like, why kids suffer, I can never understand, you know. That's something when I do meet my maker that I'm gonna ask. You know, it's in my questions to ask. Why is this going on? But just like there's good in the world, there is evil in this world. The yin got to have a yang. And that's the only way I can even comprehend to understand it.
Because your voice can be heard. Thanks God, I don't want this. But God's going to give me whatever He wants to give me, whether I like it or not.
He's going to give you what you need.
Doesn't matter what I want. It's the only thing I want is my son. But you know what? If this is what is given to me, then I will deal with it the only way I know how to, which is one step at a time. And I will try to fix what is broken, because that's what I try to do. Try to fix what is broken. And there's a lot broken here. I see a lot that is broken. And it's got to be fixed. Because if we continue to let it broken, then tomorrow there is going to be another parent in the same shoes that I am in right now. And I don't want another parent. And I don't want another child in the same shoes that my son is in.
Amen to that, Seth. That is facts right there. Okay. So while he's blowing his nose, he's been a little bit across the board tonight, but he's right. You know, it's really terrible that Seth's not going to be the last person. Okay. Right now we got the case we're covering in California of Melody Buzzard, 9-year-old little girl missing. Hopefully she is alive. But children go missing every day, especially runaways, right? I don't usually focus on runaway children. I usually focus on ones that I believe have met some tragic fate or been foul play, or victims of foul play. I do believe that Sebastian will be found. I don't know if he's going to be found with us or not, but I just pray to God that he's found. And I wish that, like I said, that some of these people could put their differences aside and come together. If they truly want to find Sebastian, it ain't about who took whose girl or who said what to who or who raised money. It's about finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Okay, I think Seth is back. He's drying his eyes now. Yeah, Seth has a lot to get out, and sometimes it's good to get that stuff out. You don't want to bottle up that type of stuff, right? So maybe, you know, YouTube is a good platform for people to vent, because everybody needs to vent. I vent, you know what I'm saying? When I'm upset, I'll come up here and let it out, because the more you bottle it up, eventually that bottle's going to explode. It's under too much pressure. yeah, it is about that time. You know what I'm saying? And I went into Bass Pro Shop today and bought me some thermals because I told PJ the same thing. I said, I'm going to be out here in the winter searching, and I'm going to need something warm to wear. So I actually bought me a pair of flannels today, and somebody had sent me for my birthday a Bass Pro gift card. Thank you. Right. And with that, I bought some thermals today, something warm, because I know when I do hit the road and I'm out covering these cases, I get cold easy. Plus, I take medicines for the thinning my blood, and I get cold even easier. So I need something to keep me warm. So I do have a heated jacket. It's thin, but I'm going to suit up and get me some things that are really warm this year. So when I am out and about, that Dolly don't freeze to death. All right. But I haven't given up on these cases and the searching and all the stuff I do. So I do it when I can financially do it. So that's in it. I do as much as I can do. And really, I wish I could do more. But as finances, I have finances. I use them finances to travel, to search, and cover these
Sorry,
cases.
sometimes I just don't even know where to.
Like right now, we've been raising money for our Thanksgiving
I'm
giveaways and our Christmas wish, where
I'm mad.
we bought
I'm hurt.
families Thanksgiving dinner, and we're buying some families
Confused.
Christmas.
Too many emotions all wrapped up into one burrito of crap.
Your day there was no heated jackets. Well, they got them now.
I have. It's going to take a joint effort from everybody. This is not, it's a battle that I can start. This is not a battle that I can do by myself. I can start it. I can be there. I can be all the way up to the steps. I can walk into the building, and I can even be the one that hands them the paper and be like, this is what needs to be done. I can put my name on the ballot. I can do every one of them, but it's going to take we the people. It's going to take everybody. It needs to be an actual movement. It needs we the people to get this done. It can't. Lord help me. To sound like my dad, it cannot be half-assed. If it's going to be half-assed, it can't be done. It's got to be full on. It's got to be full on.
You got to shake the jacket like hot hands.
Anything we're doing 100% all the way.
I have a Milwaukee jacket. It takes a battery pack, and at medium, it'll say warmed up for like 6 hours. So you wear as a little battery, and you put it in your inside pocket of the jacket, and then the jacket heats up. It has a little button on the chest of it. You push. It's a Milwaukee. I got the Milwaukee one. So I have a little battery pack and stuff that inside the jacket. Now you don't shake it like hot hands.
It needs to be worth doing. And this is worth doing. How can you help with the movement? You start in your state. You start in your state, and you start in your state. You start with your representative. You start with who represents you in your county. Who represents you in your county?
Carhartt's so expensive.
Who represents you in your county?
Poor
As
Seth.
for Sebastian,
It's sad, that's for sure.
share his picture, share his name, talk to people. I tell you what, you don't want to share his picture, you don't want to hand out flyers. I put some I put shirts and stuff on the thing because people have been asking me for shirts. You won't find this shirt. This shirt right here is the one that Karen got me. But there's shirts with I've got shirts on the thing. It's the end on the back of them is the FBI flyer. That way, and it's got the code on the back for the FBI website, so that it goes straight to the FBI website.
And I'm glad.
The code.
I think that's the best move. You hear him? He said the shirt has the FBI flyer. That means it don't have the at daytime intelligence agency all over it with the fake reward and the call dog the bounty hunter. You know, when they did that, I was thinking, you shouldn't do that. People should call the police first. Dolly, I am a la Dolly soap. Time for me to get more. Oh, listen, we got soap half off for Christmas special. Promo code is this: Dolly Rocks. Okay, all capitals, all one word. Dolly Rocks will get you half off on all the soap. Why supplies last? I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna sell out fast. Okay, because that's the cheapest my soap has ever been. Okay, so you get half off right now with promo code Dolly Rocks. So we got some really good stuff. You know, not to interrupt with a commercial, but you know, I'm interrupting with a commercial. So get it while you can before Christmas. Makes great stocking stuffers. We got body wash. I got to make lotion, but I'll have lotions up in the next couple days. Body wash, soaps, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, you name it. We got it. Dolly Rocks is the discount code, 50% while supplies last up until Christmas. Okay, because we want you guys to fill your stockings with Dolly stuff. Also, we're going to have mystery boxes. If you get them now, they're probably going to come in a stocking. Okay. And now listen, just to understand it, for people to understand the mystery boxes, we throw a lot of little goodies in it, but we always put at least $50 worth of soap in it. Okay. And then we throw little things in it, PJ, little pins and little just different things. But the mystery box itself is the soap. All the other little things that are in it, that's just little extra little gifts. But you're getting over $50 worth of soap between the soaps and the body washes that we put into it, just in that. All the little extras that we throw in are just little extra gifts. But that's for the mystery boxes. And like I said, all the soap right now is half off with Dolly Rocks.
Put on the back, it's I can't remember what they call that right now, but it's got the FBI posters on the back of it, and it's got the code for it, QR code. You scan it, it takes you straight to the FBI website. It's got a picture of Sebastian on the front, and on the back is the FBI website. You know, scan the little code. Hey, look, this kid's missing. It's a walking billboard. You know, Kendra, where would you like to search? If you want to come down to Henderson and search, I mean, whoever. The issue with the U.S. Marshals and the FBI, I am working on that. I am working on getting an appointment with the FBI so I can get in and speak to them about coming in and taking over. It takes forever to get an appointment. I mean, every time you go on there and you see Cash Patel is in the middle of dealing with, the Epstein files and all that stuff that's going on, which I really think they should release the Epstein files.
Oh, Lord. We would have went to the
Every
Epstein
time that
files.
he's doing that stuff, that means I can't get an appointment. I've been trying to get an appointment with Don Bacino. I've been trying to get an appointment in with them to speak. I've been trying to get in with an appointment with the FBI.
Yeah, all my soaps were sensitive skin.
U.S. Marshals have no control over
Cotton
the
candy,
GBI here or anything
cherry
else.
almond.
They can't. The U.S. Marshals don't do investigations.
Pumpkin.
They do
cucumber
recovery.
melon.
They can track people down, but they don't do investigations. So I've been working on trying to get in with the FBI. Now I have spoken to my contact with the FBI. I just spoke to him on Friday. We still get tips in every day. They're still following up every tip that they get in. We're still working on this. We're still getting tips in, and we're going to continue to get tips in because we continue to ask people to send in tips.
There's the Where's the Baby shirt. The new one.
Butterfly Kisses wants to know where I get a shirt. Can somebody?
We got a ton of different soaps.
Raspberry I
lemonade.
do apologize.
Watermelon lemon, coffee and cream.
I really haven't been paying attention to chat.
These are all different shirts. There's the Where's the Baby stickers. Hoodies. Where's the Baby hoodie?
I do apologize.
Let's see what else we got up here.
I haven't heard from Dog lately.
Tracker for your kids.
I know that he's been dealing with some things on his own end. Same thing with At Night. Certain things have to happen in order for a lawsuit to happen. Right now, it's not going to happen against them too.
Our tumblers.
Is there sand on properties there and hinder? I don't understand that. I appreciate that, Pebbles.
Cherry almond, cotton candy, eucalyptus.
The issue with Chris McDonough in the cold case is that, again, as long as Sumner County Sheriff's Office won't release or give the case up, I can't get any assistance from anybody else because they won't let anybody come in to assist. I mean, you want to know how upset they were that America's Most Wanted came in? They were so upset that America's Most Wanted came in and did their little TV spill. I'd never heard somebody was so disgusted in my life.
Well, we do sell GPS trackers on our site. We have one for $20. You can put it into your kids' clothes, into their book bag. It hooks up to any Apple device and Android. And then, of course, you can track your kid. You can hide them in their shoes. We actually ordered some soles, inserts for your shoes that hold the trackers. They're right now still in our test phase because we like to test everything out before we sell it. So, but hopefully I've been trying to tell PJ to put them on the site for sale at cost, right? Because we don't make nothing off of it, but we want people to have them because, if Sebastian would have had a tracker on him, would we be looking for Sebastian right now? No, we wouldn't. We would know where he was at. But we need to get more people getting these for their family members and That way we don't have missing kids. We got to use technology for our benefit. And today you can track your kids for $20. Okay. I mean, they got trackers from $20 all the way up to like $100. You have an air tag on your dog. That's smart. And listen, you don't even have to buy the tracker from me. You can go to Amazon or anywhere and get one. But we encourage you to get them. How much is your child worth to you, or how much is your grandchild worth to you? That is the question. If they're worth $20, go on the site, get you one. If you got $30, go to Walmart, get you one. You know, it's depend. You know, I think it's worth every cent and some. And I pray to God you never have to use it, never. But if you do, you have it.
Brandon Carter was so disgusted that America's Most Wanted came in. You know, I don't know who called them. They don't need to be coming in here. It's so ridiculous. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah,
Hey,
here we
Helena.
are now, almost 2 years later, and they still
Thank
haven't
you.
found my son. I mean, they are so prideful that I'm pretty sure they think that when they go to the bathroom, that the gold industry, you know, follows
I don't
them
know.
and uses their shit for toilet paper.
He's all over the
They
place.
don't want anybody talking about Sebastian. The sheriff's department doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. Christopher Proudfoot doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. Katie doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. That whole family, that whole sheriff's department does not want Sebastian mentioned by anybody, because of the simple fact is they want to sweep him underneath the rug.
Thank you, Melissa.
Because they know what's going on, and they don't want Sebastian being brought up. I had in order to run for that sheriff's office, I would have to live there. I'd have to live there. And see this person here? If I lived there, do you think that they would not try to have my ass in jail every chance that they got? I mean, think about it. I've got a big mouth, and I don't care about them. And I tell them where to go shove it.
Can you imagine Seth as the sheriff? And I want to say thank you to Melissa. Thank you for jumping on the Blessed Express. And also to Helena. Thank you, Helena. Big virtual hugs to you. And thank you for helping out, of course, with the turkey giveaways, right? And we're going to be doing another one tomorrow for families that are in need. So far, we have helped 11 families, which thank you guys for sponsoring a family. It's $50 to sponsor a family. You send it to Gibson Go, and we gift that to a family, and we ship them out a Thanksgiving dinner. So far, we've helped 11 families. We're going to help 3 more, I think, tomorrow. So that is absolutely awesome. So we'll be at like 11, 12, 13, 14 families that we've been able to help. And then we're still going to buy a few families Christmas this year too. So everybody that's been rocking with Dolly Vision, helping the cause, big virtual hugs to you guys. You're absolutely amazing. All right.
And I can't sit here and be an advocate for my son, run down tips and leads, and sit there and be a pain in their rear if I'm wearing orange. And that's exactly where they'd have me. They'd have me in jail as fast as they could go. And I'll be your Huckleberry, but if I'm in jail, they can do whatever they want. And I know how the jail system runs. I know how they run anyways in Nashville.
I wonder if he still works for the jail. Does anybody know?
As soon as I would get arrested and get in jail, there'd be a good chance of possibility I wouldn't make it out alive.
Oh, God. Now he thinks he's Epstein.
I have a feeling I know who this person yeah, I know who you are. I'm not even going to sit there and say your name.
Thank you, short legs. Show up for Turtle Island
I know
and
who
kick
you are.
anyone that ain't Mab investigates. Thanks. Thank you, short legs, for getting on the Blessed Express tonight. Awesome to have you.
Sure, I'll probably strike Queen Bee for streaming me while I'm live. She doesn't deserve it. She's one of those hate channels. She can buzz right off. You know?
I've been saying that for the longest time. All right. At least you know, listen, I let them do a stream, and then I still haven't streamed them audio as I do commentary, but you know, I gave them the respect of not to stream snipe them, you know, because I'm hoping, you know, in a perfect world that they stop all this BS and that the family comes together and everybody can come together and try to find Sebastian Rogers and let all the hate and the fighting stop, and let's get this little boy home. I know it's wishful thinking, and I know it probably ain't going to happen, but hey, I can be hopeful, right?
They're not going to sweep my son's name underneath the rug.
He was doing security in a bank.
Oh, yeah, I know. Well, I'm not going to give her any more streaming time.
Yes,
I do
Tumblr
appreciate
has
everybody
lived.
for showing up for my live. I gave everybody plenty of time to prepare for me to be going live. You know, the thing is why they're streaming me, they're still giving me more airtime. But yeah, I think I'll strike her. She doesn't deserve her channel anyways. She did, you know. Honeybees are the only bees I like anyways.
Honeybees.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate you all showing up. Together we can change the world. We just got to be on the same page so we can change it.
Seth, man, I so wish we could get on the same page. That's what I've been preaching, man. Everybody get on the same page. I mean, you gotta practice what you preach, brother. Right? Like, let's slow down the hate a little bit. Let's bring a little love back. And love is going to find Sebastian a lot quicker than hate is. Okay? Love gets the job done. Hate, it don't work good. So I'm telling you, this hate has been done for 2 years. Let's get on the same page together and let's bring this kid home, man. You need the help. Right now, you're pushing people away and you should be bringing people together. I've always said that you was the voice for Sebastian Rogers. And your voice is powerful if you use it right.
Again, I appreciate every one of you. We can do this. Sebastian matters. We're not going to let the distraction and the hate win. Thank you, everybody. Sebastian strong, Sebastian's army. Peace out.
All right, guys. There you have it. That's what Mr. Seth Rogers had to say today about his missing son, Sebastian Rogers. It was a little bit of harsh on Chris and a little easy on ordered soap. Well, thank you, Trish. And look, Trish, if you never tried Dolly soap, I promise you, you're going to love it. It smells so good. It smells so good you could eat it, but don't eat it. And don't sue me if you do, okay? But I'm telling you, don't eat it. It smells delicious. And it'll make your skin super soft. See how good my skin is? That's because I use Dolly soap. And I've always had sensitive skin. So I made this soap for people that have dry skin because I get really dry in the wintertime. And so it's a moisturizing, really good soap, all natural ingredients. I mean, with shea butters and all kinds of good things in it. All of it's made by me. Okay. The lotions, the body washes, the soaps. PJ makes the scent rollers, which I don't think they're on the store right now, but we got to get some back up there. She makes the body spray and she makes the chapstick. I don't make any of that. but I make everything else, and PJ packs and ships all of it. So we got a big special running right now for Christmas. Everything's half off as far as soaps, and so we're trying to sell out for Christmas, so you guys can have some things to put in your stocking. And we sell out every Christmas. We liquidate everything we got at the end of the year, and we did it last year, and we sold everything in like a matter of a couple of days. I started making more stuff just to keep up with the supply. So if you want some stuff, right now it's the cheapest time of the year that you'll ever get Dolly soap. It only goes on sale once a year like this, and it's at Christmas. Because I want you guys, I know this, if you try it, you'll buy it. That's how confident I'm in my soap. And now for some of you ladies that are familiar with high-end soap, if you like shop at Lush or something like that, it's that type of quality. I think it's better, but that's just my personal opinion. Because I've tried both. So sometimes I'll go places and buy soap just to see if it's better than mine. But I'm sure you will absolutely love it. Now, ask the chat, how many people in the chat room have tried Dolly soap and love it? If you do, press 1 in the chat. If you absolutely hated it, you can press 2. You can be honest. But I think most people that buy it, they buy it multiple times. Do you ship to Canada? Yes, we ship to Canada. Right there. There you go. Right off the bat. Ones. Right there. Ones. I see. I told you the product speaks for itself. A lot of people think it's a joke that I make soap, but I don't just make soap. I make the best soap. Can't touch this. Like MC Hammer. Okay, like MC Hammer. Do you have honeysuckle? Yes, I do. Yes, I have cotton candy, honeysuckle, eucalyptus, raspberry lemonade, love spell, but we call it turtle spell. So if you see anything turtle, it's because it's trademarked. We can't say it's love spell because Victoria's Secret will sue us. So we call it turtle spell. So anything you see that says turtle, it's because we couldn't use the name. You know, the body wash is good too. Yes, it goes a long ways. We sell them in 8-ounce bottles, but it don't take much, and you just need a little loofah, boop boop, and go to town. Me, the new one we got is Man Card. We named it after that because, you know, when Chris Proudfoot was on that channel, and he was like, "Don't make me pull my Man Card," so we named the body wash, the men's scent, Man Card. So it smells really good. And of course, most of our soaps are made for women, but we do have a few that are made for men, like Sweet Tobacco, Lumberjack. These are all, and they may have crazy names, but smell phenomenal. We don't have nothing that I think is bad. Me, myself, I think my favorite is the raspberry lemonade. I use that a lot. I just do. And it was the first soap I ever made was raspberry lemonade. And over the years, I've gotten so much better at making it. You know, in the beginning, I think people felt sorry for me and they bought the first. I remember I made 12 bars of raspberry lemonade and they sold out in one day. And I was just thinking, well, people feel sorry for me. They kind of look like little pieces of cheesecake. And then the second batch, I made 24 and they sold out in a day. And by that time, they were starting to look more like soap. By the third batch, I had the recipe. I had it down. So they all started to look really good, colorful, you know, blocking up nice. And so it took me about 3 good tries, and I had it locked in, my recipe. And my daughter, Tiffany, she was my test subject. So I gave it to her, and she was like, nah, it ain't, it's not it, right? And Tiff don't like anything. This is how I knew when I had a good product, because Tiff don't like nothing, unless it's K-pop. But you know, the second time I got it, she was like, Dad, this is a lot better, right? She's like, but it needs just a little bit more to moisturize your skin. So then I added a little more shea butter to it, and by the third time, Tiff was like, she called me up and she's like, Dad, your soap is the best soap I've ever used. It's perfect. And from that day, I've never changed the recipe. It's been the same. The only thing that's different is the scent. But all the soaps are exactly the same recipe. The only thing that changes is the color and the scent. That's it. But she was my, my test subject. And when I knew Tiff liked it, I knew it was good. So that product is Tiffany certified. She's so hard to please. And I figured, hey, and then since then, we've sold hundreds and hundreds of bars. I don't even know how many bars of soap we've sold. It's been a lot. So about every 2 months or every 3 months, I make a really, really big batch of different soaps. So I'm due to make another one. We made this one last month. So I'm going in. So before Christmas, I'll make another big batch of everything. Son loves Darmani. I'm out of Darmani right now. That's our Armani scent, but I'm out of it right now. I gotta order the actual oil that goes into the soap base, as I make the soap, and then I use all essential oils, and I'm out of that right now. So I gotta order some, and then once I get it in, I'm gonna make all the soap, the Darmani soap. I may have a few like stragglers like around the house that I haven't packaged. I mean, that are packaged but hasn't been listed on the site. I'm not quite sure. Another one I'm gonna be making here coming up is and this was a huge seller, is our Captain Crunch bars. Okay, our Captain Crunch soap bars. So I don't know, sometime next week I will make those. So for everybody, my sister loves the Captain Crunch. She buys like 15 of them at a time. Right, I only make usually 36 of them, and she'll buy half of them, right? As soon as I make them. So it usually cuts what I got in half because my own sister buys them. So I went to her house and she had like a stack Captain Crunch bars. So, you got to get those while you can when I make them. They're one of those things, like if you want it, you better order it that day that I tell you they're available, because that one sells out like, and in the beginning, here's the thing. In the beginning, Captain Crunch bars were one of my slowest selling soaps. And then I guess somebody got it and they got in the chat room. They start telling people how good it was. And then it just took off like a rocket. Like, whew. So now they sell out super fast. So what did we take from this, tonight? The whole Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers thing. Steph was upset. I think trying to do a live stream and be really emotional, it's probably not the best for Seth, right? Because he's a little bit all over the place. Your granddaughter loves the Captain Crunch bars. Okay, that's awesome. I haven't made them in a little while, but I am going to make some. I was just thinking about doing that. Like I was thinking about it last night when I was looking in the office, and because PJ's been packing and shipping this whole time I've been live with you guys. And I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to need some Darmani. Well, really is Armani, but I can't call it Armani because I get sued. You know what I'm saying? So it's Dalmani because it's Dolly Vision. And which I could change it to something else, but it's always been that. So we kind of just stuck. And like I said, the turtle spell is really love spell, but we can't call it that because that's copywritten, trademarked by Victoria's Secret. So there's some of those that are close to Bath and Body Works. You have your pink sugar, and stuff like that. So, but we got everything. I mean, we got a lot of stuff. And like I said, I'm about to make a bunch more things. So, and a bunch of new lotions. So probably this week coming up, I'll make more soap, more lotions. But right now, everything's 50% off with promo code Dolly Rocks, all caps, all one word. So DOLLYROCKS, one word, Dolly Rocks, 50% off. And I got so many scents now that so many people recommend scents, and we add new holiday scents all the time. Like we have candy cane right now I made for Christmas. We have pumpkin cake that I made for fall Halloween ish time. The pumpkin, everybody likes that pumpkin spicy shit, right? I've never been a real big fan of it myself, but I know a lot of people this time of year, they go pumpkin crazy. So we got the pumpkin cake, pumpkin crunch cake. We got candy cane. Last year, I think we sold a lot of mistletoe, and we do a whole different list of Christmas scents, but I haven't got them out yet. By the end of this month, I will have all that stuff out. I still got, because like I said, we make everything here myself. So it's when I get to it kind of thing. Do you have sweet pea? No. You still want some Dakar, Dolly? Give it a try. Tony, I like the smell of Dakar. And I would have to find essential oils that have that smell. Sometimes it's hard to find everything, right? Especially if it's a fragrance that's like patent and trademarked. It's a little harder to get your hands on those. And they're a lot more expensive for the essential oils that I need to add to my soaps. But I'll see what I can do. I really like the smell of that too myself. Are the sweatshirts 50% off too? I'm from Canada. No, because I think we're paying so much for t-shirts right now. And I don't think the t-shirts are 50% off, or the hoodies. I don't think. It may be everything in it. I know the mystery boxes ain't, because we put over $50 worth of soap in each mystery box. So I know the mystery boxes ain't on sale, but they're a good buy if you just don't care what soap it is, because we pick the soap you get in the mystery box. If you just willing to be like, I'll take my chances on what I get, that's your best buy, is the mystery box. But if you want to pick it, you more than welcome to. Okay, just the soaps, liquid and bars. I checked. Okay, well, there you go. It's just the liquid soaps, body washes. And like I said, give me a couple days and I'll have all my lotions up there. I'll have the Darmani. I will have Captain Crunch. So there'll be more things. Just if you don't see what you want, check back in a few days and there'll be even more stuff up there. You got the Captain Crunch. No, you got the cotton candy, raspberry lemonade, and the man card. Okay, I'm telling you, you'll like the man card for your husband. And the raspberry lemonade, I think that's kind of a unisex soap, because I use it and I like it. I like that. I like the smell of raspberry lemonade. And that's the reason that when I started the soap, I was just making stuff that I liked. So I made the raspberry lemonade was my first soap. So it is the #1 selling soap here on Dolly Vision, because I've been selling that the longest, right? And still it sells really good. It's always been our best sellers anyway. Pink sugar is amazing. Well, thank you guys. Thank you. I'm glad y'all like it. I just want to fill you in. I don't want to turn this into a big commercial, because this ain't about Dolly soap. This is about Sebastian Rogers being found and what can we do to help in this situation, because we've come to a crossroads, right, I think, of what should happen in this case. That's where it gets a little, what can we do at this point to bring this boy home? If the families keep fighting and nobody's putting search parties together and organizing anything, it's going to be a lot harder to find them. If we can get some of these people to put their differences aside and actually organize something that people can volunteer to and people can truly get behind. You got cucumber, melon, rose, and lilac. I'm excited, Dolly. First time buyer. Awesome. I'm telling you, you'll like it. You'll be like, damn. And then, like I said, we have a lot of return orders. Dolly, now I want 2 raspberry lemonades and not the cucumber melon. In my order, the rest leave as, please, you got me talking about it. I can't change it. You had to contact PJ to change any orders. Once you put the order, I make it. I don't have any control of the store itself. That whole store is ran by PJ. She posts the stuff. Please play my commercial. Do I have my commercial handy? Let's see. Y'all like the commercial? Hold on. Let me see if I have it. Here we go. I got it. Hey guys, have you washed your ass crack and your titty flaps today? Is your soap leaving you a little bit dry and your clam just a little bit crusty? If that's the case, you're in the right place. I'm Dolly, the creator of Dolly's Luxurious Lather Bars, the best soap in the world. And I'm here to tell you, your soap ain't shit. It's filled with harsh ingredients and chemicals that you can't even say. Some of it is even made by doctors that ain't even doctors. And let me tell you, this right here, downright disgusting. Your flaps deserve better. Here at Dolly, we take every crack, flap, crevice in consideration. We only use the best 100% all natural ingredients because we care about your lady parts. Every bar is handcrafted by me, Dolly, and we carry some of your favorite scents such as raspberry lemonade, pink sugar, our version of love spell, Caribbean haze, and a ton more. To add the full luxury to your bath experience, don't forget to check out Dolly Voodoo Candles. They will cast a spell right into the air that will leave you relaxed. Okay, I don't sell voodoo candles anymore. Okay, I don't. So you can listen about the candles, but the soap, you get. I think you get the point. All right, I think you guys get the point. Wash your flaps and your cracks. Stay clean. Right. You know, I've been cleaning up these YouTube streets for the last 3 years. Okay. Sounds like it sounds like your butt crack when you squeeze the bottle. I mean, I don't know. Me and PJ had a fun time making that commercial. I wish you guys could see the outtakes of it because there was a lot of laughing going on. You know how many times she threw me those bars of soap and I missed it? Start over, whoop, throw the soap, you know. So really what it is we're filming and then PJ's beside me and I'm like, you know, the one soap is what is it, Dr. Squash, when I put the no Bigfoot sign up there. So it's my competitors. I'm like, it's their soaps, right? So she's throwing me to, you know, the competition, and I'm trying to catch it. And the whole commercial it wasn't bad to shoot it, but when I got to the part where I'm like, we take your lady parts serious, I couldn't say it with a straight face. I kept laughing. So we must have did like 15 takes. Dolly's eating good now. You see the difference in my weight? Don't get your weight up. Get your weight up. All right. Skinny as it can be, right? That's you ever seen that cable commercial? It's like, this is a skinny version of, and then they show the person all big. That's kind of how I look now. I'm a little chubby now, right? I put on a little weight. I was probably 150 pounds there. I'm running like 190 now. Okay. So that was 40 pounds ago. All right. Yeah, I'm eating pretty decent. So buy my soap so I can continue to eat decent. That was PB&J Dolly. This is big ass chicken platter Dolly. Okay, there's two different versions. You can definitely tell you're much healthier. Yeah. Okay. I do need to drop a couple pounds. I am getting a little chubby. But I consider this, my winter installation. By summertime, I'll drop a lot of weight. And some of this medicine that they got me on has definitely made me add a little bit of weight. So Dolly heals people's butt cracks. Well, yeah, you don't want, flaky, dry skin, right? Dolly can, I'm helping. I think like I said, I've been cleaning these YouTube streets are dirty. It's a dirty place. And I've been cleaning them up one bar of soap at a time. And I see, there's other people that sell soap. I've seen another YouTuber dude, a really big, huge ass YouTuber sells soap. But I think I'm the only person in true crime that has like a product line. I haven't seen anybody else in true crime that sells like their own, their own products. Just me. And because I thought about it. I was like, because a lot of YouTubers, they reach out for sponsorship. Okay, so they go to these companies, and the company gives you a percentage of what they sell, right? That's how sponsorships work here on YouTube. So you get up here and you're like, well, use my promo code Dolly save 30, right? And then you go to their company and you buy something, and that 30% that you saved, right? They'll give you a little percentage of that sale, usually like 20% or something like that. And I was thinking, okay, well, in the beginning, I thought we needed sponsors. I was like, well, to survive, we need money. How am I going to finance these trips? How am I going to do this? How am I going to buy cameras? How am I going to upgrade the studio? How are we going to pay the bills, right? And then I thought about it. I was like, we need to sell our own shit. And then that was the birth of everything. I started joking about it, that I was going to finance everything making soap. And then that joke turned into reality. I started making soap because I used to come up here with like pictures of my head on Tyler Durden from Fight Club. The first rule of Fight Club, don't tell nobody. But if you've seen in the movie Fight Club, they finance Fight Club by selling soap. And to me, it was a joke in the beginning. And you know how I'm silly. And I was like, well, we're going to finance this channel by selling soap. So it was all just a joke. And then slowly I learned how to make soap and started my own product line. And then 3 years later, here we go. We got a whole store that sells soaps, lotions, body washes, body sprays, scent rollers, chapstick. I mean, you name it. And we make it, package it, ship it. And what was a joke at one time is now reality. So, but we got it all from, I got it from Fight Club, right? I got it from Fight Club. Brad Pitt, Ed Norton, y'all know the story. The rest is history. So thank you to Brad Pitt, right? Thank you, because it helped our YouTube channel out a ton. And like I said, I don't see nobody else really doing it. Like, so we kind of in a realm of things by ourselves. Instead of getting the little percentage, we get the whole sale. And we're able to pay the light bills, the cable bill, put food in the fridge. And it's crazy. Like I said, something that started out as a joke is what really did keep the channel alive, especially during hard times, So thank you guys that purchased it, that supported me, that made all this possible. Because then not only was it that, but if I would have just been YouTubing, I could have never been a full-time YouTuber. What I make off of YouTube, because AdSense, like when you watch a commercial, like 5 people have to watch a commercial for me to make like a penny. You imagine how many views it takes to make money, right? So, but with the soap and the donations to the channel, I'm able to do it full time. So I was able to say, hey, I ain't showing up for work. I'm going to YouTube. I'm going to push my product. I'm going to be up here. I'm going to do live streams. I'm going to cover cases full times. And I'll tell you now, money does get tight sometimes, really tight. But we've made it work for the last, I would say the first almost 2 years I worked, a year and a half. And then I think the last 3 years, I've been able to do this full time. I don't see the Captain Crunch. It's not up there yet. Now, if everything fails, which I pray God it don't happen, I will go back to work, right? I can always get my job back. The people that own the company are some of my best friends. So it's just like calling my homeboy up and be like, YouTube's bad, bro. I'm coming back to work. They'd be like, all right. So I always know I got a job if I need it. Okay. And I have a few different trades, right? So I don't really sweat, that, because I know if everything, something takes a left turn, I can always go back to work. That would suck, and I don't want to do it. My body's old and broke down, but worst case scenario is I could. So a lot of people are saying, now's the perfect time to be out there searching for Sebastian Rogers, because, in the summertime, everything is kind of blooming and the trees are overgrown and the grass is high and everything's all tall and it's hard to see anything in the woods. But in the wintertime, a lot of that stuff dies. right? The bushes, the trees, the leaves fall, and it's a lot easier to search these areas when it's cold outside than, you would think, well, summer, it's warm, we can walk through the woods. But in the summertime, you got bugs, you got ticks, you got all these things, snakes, and all these other elements to being in the woods. In the wintertime, you ain't got to worry about snakes. I mean, I would still look out, but for the most part, you don't have to worry about snakes. They're hibernating. You don't got all the bugs. You don't got all the ticks, and the weeds have died off, and you got more visibility in the woods. So this is the perfect time for Seth or Chris and Katie or some of them people to put together a search for Sebastian Rogers. Y'all still talking about damn soap in the chat room. Y'all still, well, I'm glad y'all like it. I'm glad y'all like it. But this, like I said, this is the perfect time, and like I said, I don't hate any of these people. I have suspicions, and there's things that some of them do that I don't agree with. Lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my. But if they could put what's been said aside, you hear Seth talk all this religious stuff, but if he ain't willing to forgive, what you got to really practice what you preach, right? And far as Chris and Katie, they were willing to work with him in the beginning. And I'm sure if if everybody could get on the same page and apologize, and, I think everybody would have handled this thing differently. But when emotions are high, right, like we've seen in this case, then people say crazy stuff. Sometimes when you're mad, you'll say things that you truly don't mean, or you wish you didn't say. And I think a lot of that was played into this, and some of the bad people that were involved. Like we heard Seth mention Dog, and he's like, well, I ain't really talked to Dog. Seth knows good and well Dog ain't legit in this case to find Sebastian, that he's not trying. He said Dog's working on some of his own stuff. He jumped right over to the Ellen Greenworth stuff, right? So whatever's popular in the news is what these people are doing. And he knows At Night was making stuff up. That's why he ain't using their flyer anymore. Why ain't he saying the reward's $500,000? He was before, but he ain't now, because he knows all that's bull crap. So I just don't see why he can't willing to move on and try to do what's right. I don't think Seth's a bad guy. I just think he got around bad people, and he's maybe easily to influence. And, when people get in your ear and you got a bunch of different people in your ear, you just really don't know what direction to go in. And listen, you can do a ton of bad stuff in this world, but you can wake up tomorrow and go, hey, you know what? I want to be a good person. I want to do the right things. I want to make the right choices. And if you look at your past and everything's bad, then your decision making was bad. Change it. Change what you've done. Change the game a little bit. And that's what I hope for, until we get some proof. Let's stop the name calling and the blaming, and let's find this kid. That's the most important thing. So many egos are at play in this. Seth's ego, Chris's ego, and then there's the anger at play. People mad about things that really ain't got nothing to do with Sebastian, but it's coming out now. You gotta get over that. I would think in the last 2 years, every bridge has been burnt that you can. Y'all, you told your own people to F off, that you was going to work with Chris, and then you didn't work with Chris after you done told all your people to F off. And then you got, Chris and Katie going silent. And then Chris, of course, he comes off so angry that it's easy to blame him, because he's angry. He gets angry so easy. He's triggered. So I would say he has a short temper for sure. And that don't help in this case, right? He sometimes he tries to be level-headed, but the littlest thing will blow this man up, right? And we've seen that when people were coming out on these channels talking about Katie possibly being big belly with her kid, right? And I was thinking, that is terrible. Who came up with that, right? Who came up with that theory? And these channels were saying that stuff. And Chris came up there and he blew up. I mean, he was, and you got to remember this whole time, he's been friends with these channels. And he was like, defamation, I'll sue you. And really, out of all this, we hadn't heard Chris talking about suing people. He didn't like that Katie Come Clean soap, right? He didn't like that. But I mean, but far as actually physically threatening, like last time he came up, he was pretty threatening to his own people. He was like, look, y'all keep saying this stuff, and you got to understand what defamation is. This allegedly stuff ain't going to work in court. But to say something like that, I can understand you suspect people, but I don't know. That's just a terrible, weird thing to put out into the world, that there was some freaky shit going on, right? And I could understand him being mad on that one. I got it. I was like, oh, yeah, I get why you mad on this one. But some of the other stuff that he gets angry about, I didn't get. Like the whole GPS on his truck, and he got all mad. Like, that makes you look guilty. You know what I'm saying? That makes you look guilty, like you got something to hide on your GPS when you get all angry about it, right? So, I don't know. I just think honestly, if these people had a time machine and you told them, say, look, you could go back and change a few things and this may be different, I think they would. You are being so kind. Chris P. Foot is a disrespectful with short man syndrome, in my opinion, as his old Navy buddies. Well, I mean, he is definitely short-tempered. I would say that. And I guarantee if you asked him and said, hey, Chris, are you short-tempered? He'd be like, yeah. Usually people know when they're short-tempered, they get mad easy. And he does get mad. That's a fact, right? That he gets angry easy. But we don't know. Imagine you're getting blamed a million times for something, and nobody truly knows if you did it or not. And if you're innocent, I can really understand the anger. Now, if you ain't, then why you mad, homie? You know what I'm saying? But if you are innocent, what is if you innocent of something and somebody just kept blaming you and calling you names, the whole internet, it'd be hurtful. So that's why I always say that, I have my suspicions of these people, but I don't know if they're guilty or not. I truly don't. And so I've never really made up nothing about these people or said anything that's so far off from the truth that you're like, whoa, and some of these things that are coming out now are like, you'll say anything for a view and click. And I just think that's horrible. Like, there's enough to say about people, like, he gets angry easy and shit, that you don't have to make up stuff on people. Well, we can just stick to what we do know, their actions, and we can speak on their actions. We don't have to add to that or, and like I said, it's still important to spread awareness for Sebastian. And I think a lot of these people's behavior ran a lot of YouTube creators off, which I wish it hadn't happened, but it truly did. I think guilty or not, CP is a bad person, period, in your opinion. That's your, that, like I said, that's your opinion. If you don't think he's a good guy, you don't gotta think he's a good guy. I don't think he's a great guy myself. I would have never whipped somebody else's kid. I've always had a hard time getting past that. But at the same time, we just don't have any evidence, right? And until there is more to it, I just don't. The blame game hasn't worked. That's all I'm saying. Has it worked? Anybody seen the blame game work? It hasn't brought Sebastian home. So let's play a different game. Let's play a different game. I think that's the smart move. If we do the same thing, we're going to get the same result. So let's play a different game and let's see what we can do to get this kid home. If we drive a wedge between these people, they're never going to forgive each other. Like I said, they don't have to forget what has been done or what's been said. They just got to find it in their heart, because both of these people, this family, the father and Katie and Chris, they all claim to be Christian good people. We just need to get them to practice that. Okay. That's what people should be encouraging. Even me, I stirred the pot probably when I shouldn't have, right? I have a role in some of this confusion and badness that's going on. I accept what I've done. I think other people have to do that too and realize, hey, now it's time to stop stirring the pot. We did that. I did it to get information, to get people talking, hoping that would rattle a cage and something would shake loose, but it didn't. So what do we do now? We done rattled the cage. We done had everybody hating each other. It didn't work. It didn't work. It absolutely didn't work. So now we go back and start over, apologize to everybody and say, damn, I was wrong, man. I should have accused you. Let's find this kid and try to get everybody on the same page again. Everybody's in a different chapter of the book. We need everybody reading the same page together. I know that's impossible. Dolly, come to Tennessee. I'll go help you look and give somewhere to stay. Yeah. I'm not saying that won't happen. I just don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Most likely, it's not going to happen between now and Christmas. Unless there was a big search party. I would do it. If somebody would put together a big search party in Tennessee, I would come down there before then. Okay. And if Chris and Katie and Seth did it together, I would go help. Okay. I'd promote it. I'd try to get as many people out there as I could, but it would have to be at this point for me to be involved. It had to be a team effort, not a Sebastian's army, not a great team Sebastian. Okay. Everybody with the same goal is just to bring Sebastian home. No fighting, no arguing, no bickering. Just search for the kid. And I would get behind it. You know, I don't think it's impossible. Is it a hard task? Absolutely. Especially what's went on in the last 2 years. But I think everything's possible, you know, with the right encouragement and the right reasoning behind it. You know, I'm sure Seth watches this, Chris and Katie watches this, and they know that what has happened has been a circus. But let's change it. Right? The hell with all that fighting and bickering and who made what, who said what. Everybody did bad. But that don't mean we can't do good. It just means we need to change directions. I think people were stirring the pot, like I said, even me, to rattle the cage and try to shake stuff loose. But like I said, it didn't bring nothing to the table. So I think if we all work together, and even the channels that hate each other, can we stop talking bad about each other in this case and try to bring positivity to this, encourage people to search and look for this child? We would be so much farther along. But we had channels that supported the Proudfoots, and then we had channels that supported Seth, and then we had channels like me that was in the middle. And all of those people clashed. Everybody. That's the truth. But if that wasn't the case and you had all these people together working for the right goal, even if you don't like me, that's fine. You don't got to like me. Just want to bring the kid home. And so many people made it about themselves instead of about Sebastian that he got lost in the sauce. And I think we can change that, and we can do better as a community. Now, I can't speak for the drama channels or the crime channels, but I mean true crime itself. You know, when people started jumping ship, we knew it was taking a weird turn, right? We seen a lot of big creators, way bigger than Dolly, start to leave. Like, I ain't covering that shit. I cover damn Britney Spears first, right? Dolly, you have saying so much when you first started true crime, but I think PJ has some part in changing, not saying you wasn't good, but your heart has gotten so warm ever since your heart attack. Ever since, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. You know, I've always been a good-hearted person. Did I make bad decisions? Yeah. But like I said, people make bad decisions. That's why I'm not mad at Seth. That's why I'm not mad at Chris and Katie, because people make terrible decisions. We're human. We're gonna make some mistakes. We make an omelet, we break a few eggs, right? But the next time we make an omelet, we get a little bit better. Remember I told you I made a soap, it looked like cheesecake, right? A few more times later, hey, that soap looked good. It's been selling, right? So sometimes it takes a little work. It takes time to get to where you need to be. So if you look at the Dolly that was in Georgia compared to the Dolly that was in California, you would think that was two different people, because it is. People change. Nobody stays the same. And if you do, that's not progression in life. You want to become a better person every day, a better version of yourself anyway. And I admit I'm way more caring and compassionate about others. And I know it ain't all about me. And there's people out there that are like me, 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 me. And Seth does that. I wish he wouldn't, because one day he'll realize, hey, this place is a lot bigger than just me, 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 me. It's us. It's all of us. And once I think it comes with wisdom and it comes with age, I don't know what point you get to it, but when I was 25, would I cared about any of this shit? I've been like, hell no, I'm going to the bar. That'd have been it. 25 years later, people be like, want to go to the bar? But like, nah, man, I want to go talk about missing kids. People just completely, it changes. I don't know if 5 years from now I'll be the same person I am today. But hopefully, whatever changes I do make are for the better. I don't want to get worse. So just keep that in mind and continue to throw a little prayer out there for Sebastian that he's found. God works miracles. I know that. That's the reason I'm here with you guys tonight. So I believe the power of God is strong, and I don't think, trigger warning, I don't think this is going to be a good ending, but let's pray that we get an ending. That's the important thing. If we get a good ending, hell yeah, praise God. If we get an ending, even if it's bad, praise God, right? Because we could be at this for 20 years or something, and we don't want that. Sebastian's about to turn 17 years old in just like 2 weeks. And when we started, he was 15. 2 years have gone by. 2 years. And I think a lot of mistakes have happened in those 2 years. It don't have to be mistakes for 3 years or for 4 years. Everybody can say, you know what? Dolly's right. Let's do something different. And let's get aboard the love train. Okay? The friendship bridge. Okay? The apology bridge. Hey, man, I know what I said was, I'm sorry I said mean shit about you, man. I was upset. Anger, ego took over. Forgive me on all sides. And hopefully that could work. But listen, I ain't going to hold my breath. I'll tell you that. But, if you get to wishful thinking and being like, in a perfect world, if this happened, maybe something would be different. An alternate universe, or like, maybe, never hurts to hope. I think I know what needs to happen to make change. I just don't know how to get it to happen. Like, I know the formula. I just don't know how to put the formula in place unless I'm already doing it. And it's planting the seed, right? It makes people think. And then when you start to think, you might think, well, you know what? He's right. And until people think, hey, man, Dolly's right, we may go on the same path. But I'm hopeful that these people are in the bushes and they're listening. And something sinks in and they go, let's try something different. Tony, I will in the AM. Thank you. Now, listen, guys, y'all have been great tonight. If you watched out here and you ain't subbed up to my channel, make sure you sub up. a lot of you guys didn't like the video, but there's still time. I think we put out a good message tonight. And, you know, if I don't see you between now and Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. And just remember this. If nobody else loves you, Dolly does. All right. Y'all guys have a good night. Peace.